And welcome to today's presentation of the SMZ3 co-op tournament. We've got a really good one lined up for you today. I am AceT, and I'm joined today by MGA. How you doing?
Hey, doing pretty well. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. I know especially X grams of shrooms, they're very, they know a lot of obscure tech. So it'll be really cool to see him like try and pull off in this seed.
Yeah, the BF Robber Krockemeyer side is definitely stronger on the SM side. Two really good runners. Both were in the triple bingo tournament. BF is in the top 8 along with me and you. So I think Krockemeyer, unfortunately, he had a pretty tough matchup in the first round, I think, and got booted there. And Ace was also actually in that tournament too. He also, I think, he lost the first round. He was like the 16th seed, so he had a tough first round too. But yeah, this is all 4 of these runners are pretty strong SM runners. I'm not too sure how BF and Krockemeyer are at A Link to the Past, so we'll be interested to see that. Ace is pretty similar to me overall. Good A Link to the Past player, good SM player, definitely a stronger rando player than I am. And Tracy's definitely improved a ton in recent memory. So yeah, should be an interesting one. This is definitely up for grabs.
Yeah, to my knowledge, I think uh, Beef Robber hasn't even really played Z3 until this tournament. I could be wrong on that. But yeah, they joined the SMZ3 together and they both learned it. So on the Z3 side of things, I think definitely AceT has the advantage. But yeah, nonetheless, it should still be lots of fun.
Yeah, not for nothing. Like Tracy's one of the smartest players out. Like she knows everything about all this stuff. Interesting, actually, on their side, not seeing any retro, which is kind of strange for a co-op. Usually, you send one player down here. Like it's especially strong in co-op because you split up these early checks, and honestly, like if we find even like bombs down here, we're keeping them because it's the early checks get split up. You need like money and bombs really early in Z3. So stuff you would reset in a solo seed, you're probably keeping here. They do get a cape that's not that big. Maybe an early Aga, which would be funny. Oh, but we do have bombs from tier 3 or tier 2, depending if Ace got hit. I didn't see.
Yeah, bombs pretty good for the early game. Then you pretty much have all of CAC open to you.
Yeah, the problem is, except for like a hammer down there too. That might be big.
Hammer at Uncle?
No, hammer at
Oh, at a Retro Brain.
retro
Okay.
E-Tank, yeah.
Yeah, that might be big.
Yeah,
Especially since Tracy didn't go down. You don't know when they're gonna route that in.
yeah. I mean, if it's an early morph, like they'll get it, and then they'll probably do Brinstar pretty early. So like they're not gonna miss that. That's not gonna be like that's only gonna be a problem if we also find gloves and Moon Pearl here, because like the 2 ways an SMZ3 can open is you get Dark World relatively early, or you get Morph Ball relatively early, and that opens up a lot of one of the games. So Hammer early might indicate we're more of a early Dark World type seed. So yeah, we'll see. But if Morph's early, then they'll still get that. Not too late, and I'm sure they have a plan for when they are going to clean up retro. But like the problem is, like in co-op, you just do these early checks so fast that you run out of stuff pretty quickly if no one checks retro. Oh, bombs on the crab too. This is a free bomb seed. This is a... Oh, I guess Ace is taking... Yeah, he got bombs in the tree, so he's going straight into escape. I like this play. If you're comfortable with your bomb escape.
Yeah, I was gonna mention those are some pretty cool setups with the bombs. I take it like that's pretty consistent. Since the guards move pretty, like there's only 4 directions that they can run in, right? So
yeah,
I guess if you just learn those patterns, you can kill them every time.
So a lot of enemies, like the guards and the Stalfos, it's basically 12 RNGs because it's 4 directions and there's 3 lengths of walks they can do. But like, if you have a really quick setup like that, you don't really care what their walk distance is.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, there is a consistent setup for both of these. And if not, you can kind of just hang them on the chest here. Like Ace kind of messed up his setup, so he's just running them around for the map.
I don't remember which match it was, but I saw someone do a really cool bomb setup here that I really need to learn.
Yeah, you just walk down right, place the bomb, walk up, place the bomb, and
Yeah, that was
don't
it.
alert the guard. The first one will hit him left, and then he'll bounce up into the second one. The boomerang chest one is definitely easier than the first chest one, but there's consistent setups for both.
Well, yeah, so far it seems there's just been hammer so far, just a bunch of rupees. Depending on how the seed goes, those rupees might come in handy though, like maybe for Zora, or having to buy bombs. But since this is kind of a bomb-free seed, that probably won't really be necessary.
Yeah, I mean, bombs in the bush crab is huge because there's also a crab on the way to South Shore. So, like, if we had this seed where it was like, oh, bombs and crabs, we'd probably be sending Cutie like straight to the South Shore because it's like, okay, you've got all the bombs you need,
Right.
just go.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it's a pretty
there's-
high value check. Meanwhile, nothing really in Kakariko. Oh, well, the flute.
There it is. the
That's
flute,
that's really good. It doesn't open. Well, it opens Death Mountain. Potentially, if we get some other stuff, potentially in Norfair.
Yeah.
Have you seen any E-tanks yet? Because we need 5 for the Hell Run.
5. Oh no, I don't think there's been any E-tanks.
Yeah,
It's just
I'm-
been heart. But yeah, that flute is pretty big actually for Norfair access. Because you can get there without supers.
Yeah, Ice also puts Norfair into Logic, but not as a Hell Run. So we could Avaria would put it in at this point. Varia and yeah, just Avaria because we do have the Ice now. Also potentially puts Alpha Power Bombs, which is my least favorite check on the planet because it's the only thing that they actually changed the ROM for to put it in Logic for some reason, which I don't understand.
Ooh,
and an
that's
early
big.
charge. Yeah, early charge. The 2 things you need ammo for generally is Mother Brain and Hell Runs. And then once you find charge and once you find Varia, then you really stop caring about ammo too much. You still kind of need, you still want 30ish for really, especially if you just charged Ice. But yeah, that takes a lot of pressure off because in co-op the ammo counts can be pretty low. All right, seeing a flute activation. This is also just really helpful for... In fact, I'm not sure why BF is walking down here with that flute. But just moving around early, you can get to kind of all the places you need to get to really quickly. Makes a Gina, checking a Gina, not a problem. Get the Dan right away, you can get the South Shore right away. Ooh, early Screw Attack. That's good, except I hate Screw Attack as your first SM item because it not only opens up Big Pink, but it also opens up below Mother Brain. Just so you have to go do the climb again just for 1 check. So it's the worst opener. Plus you can't even check the reserve with it, which you can with speed.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, speed is pretty close and like worst item to get as your first item for SM2. It just opens up really weird checks, like you say.
Yeah, it's just that Screw Attack opens up the same same checks as speed, except less, except for Mother Brain. So it's just straight up worse. I mean, it's always funny, like, because speed and Screw are obviously like items you generally definitely want, but when you get them before Morph, you're always kind of like, you're like, ooh, I got Screw, and then you wait, oh wait, no, that's not actually good yet.
Yeah. That's kind of the thing. It's like they're good items, but you just can't use their full potential, I guess, or because you need, they're better used in the later areas, not really the early game.
Yeah, it's more that it opens up annoying checks, and just really depends on what you want to do it. Like, and we've all had seeds where it's like you have Screw Attack, and it's like, oh, well, there's the Morph, okay. So yeah, this is exactly what when you find Screw. Now they're happy to have Screw. Now they're very happy to have Screw.
And Wave Beam too. So that's Charge Ice Wave.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty safe seed. All we need is Varia to not even think about ammo for the rest of the seed at this point, because Charge Ice Wave is honestly strong enough to get through Mother Brain, even just a little bit of ammo. So
Okay, they do have actually one tank. I didn't notice that. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 4 people, it's pretty easy to miss one. Screw is also really, generally the rule of thumb is 15 PBs for the Bryn Loop, but Screw, Morph Ball Bombs, obviously, and Speed can kind of take some of those power bombs off the table. So doing Bryn Loop early with Screw Attack is definitely pretty good. It is, the thing with Bryn Loop is, you know, especially like on low health like this, the game expects you to kind of like go to a lot of these areas your second loop. So they put like the big side hoppers and stuff in there, so it can be a little scary. Screw obviously makes that a lot better, but if you do it this early, you also isolate 2 checks. So it's always interesting to see the call of when you go to Brimstone or not, because it is dense, but there are reasons to put it off.
Oh yeah, I don't know why, but I always keep forgetting that these randos are full rando. Like for a split second, I was like, "Why is Beefy coming back to the back of Gauntlet?" But this can be an important item. And it's a sword and a shovel. Okay,
Yeah,
well, there you go.
see?
It's important.
Yeah, for those who don't know, MGA is a top-tier SM runner, and he has heard of A Link to the Past before, so, you know.
I've heard the words uttered.
Yeah. Now, I don't think we've seen an Agina check from anyone yet, so this, especially with Flute, like, I like doing this early, especially in SMZ3, that Desert Ledge, especially if your team is capable of, like, doing, like, even, like, high jumpless lava dives where you're comfortable doing anything. If there's something very valuable there, there could be a reason to do a pretty early lava dive. So I like the Scout.
Yeah, the Scout's nice in co-op, and also Blue Mail and Bow is on Spectacle Rock. So probably, I guess Mirror's gonna be required, right?
Did we get a map check yet? I think we did. I didn't see it, so but it looks like we have 3 crystals in. So yeah, Bow is 100% required.
Okay, yeah.
Bow's always logically required, because you need to get through the mimics, but you can do the mimic clip if both Pod and Eastern are pendants.
Yeah, so if Pod and Eastern were pendants, Bow's not required, right? Or is there another location like in Ganon's Tower?
Ganon's Tower, the mimics. There's mimics 1 and 2, but you can mimic clip them legally, so it's logically required, but is skippable. Gotcha. And I was about to say, when Tracy peaked back at Gauntlet, I did see Master Sword there, so there was another sword, and apparently it was at 230 there. So.
Ooh, they didn't check 230. Yeah. You definitely want those swords early.
I think. Hookshot at Edikins, I believe this is.
Yes.
Yeah. Edikins. If you're just gonna do the full Bryn Loop, especially if you open with Gauntlet, you just do 230 at the end. Like, even though it's kind of right there, it's just natural to put it at the end usually. So I'm sure BF will be grabbing that.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Ace and Tracy kind of split this up a little. It looked like Tracy didn't do Gauntlet right away. And then she saw the back of Gauntlet and realized it's high value, so she's got to get it. And then like Ace was already doing some other stuff, so a little awkwardness here early. Looks like Crockemeyer is going down to do the Norfair checks. It's kind of unfortunate that BF found, because one of the things you want to do while you're down here, like if someone finds Hookshot, that's generally a player you want to send to Kraid, because you can pop out, do East F Mount and everything. But just where it wouldn't be really possible to, like, they're splitting it up pretty naturally, and that Hookshot was just in a weird spot, so. Wouldn't be surprised if BF just beelines down here as well. And obviously, Crockemeyer knows he needs to get the Bryn up as soon as possible.
Yeah, they're probably going to, like, kind of meet up halfway and then reverse switch locations. Ooh, Moon Pearl, yeah. You want that too.
Yeah, this is most of... Now, I don't think there was anything in the reserve area, so what Crockemeyer can do is... come up to, and it also depends on things in retro, but I might be able to just come up like from Kraid and then just go straight to pink, dip over to Edikuns and come back. Probably a little faster than going all the way up to the top. Although he does gonna want the sword, gonna want the so he's kind of priced into the full loop. It's gonna be hard to get away. BF can at least kind of scout retro to see maybe he can skip that stuff. Yeah, meanwhile, Ace is up on Death Mountain 2. Unfortunately, yeah, he's going to find out about this hookshot sooner than later. It's probably going to be a little upset about that, because it's definitely be nice to have right here. Though he can just save and quit. And they have the flute, too, so it's not like even saving old man's important right now yet.
Yeah, since they have the flute, it's actually not too bad, the location of hookshot. If they didn't have that flute, it would be really annoying to have to go run all the way back to Norfair.
Well, you just save old man in the dark. Like, yeah, everyone in the tournament is 100% capable of saving old man with pretty much nothing, because it's so important in SMZ3.
Right. I mean, that's what I meant. They had the flute, so that's how they could have saved the old man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying if they didn't have the flute.
Yeah, that old man, being able to do that old man on maybe not necessarily guideless, but with like some of your non-standard guides, like a boomerang or a hookshot or a hammer, or even just boots, like a very important skill, because the game can make you logically do multiple trips from the ship to Norfair, and you definitely want to avoid that because it's slow. Okay, there's Varia. We officially no longer care about ammo whatsoever in this seed.
Wow, so Brinstar was pretty stacked. That's
yeah. And it definitely makes sense. This is definitely a seed you want to do the Bryn Loop before coming down to Norfair, because at this point you can send one player to do some of the Norfair checks, and then you can send the other player to do the Death Mountain checks. So pretty easy to split up too. So yeah, it's gonna be a little awkward for Krokemeyer to kind of like catch up at this point, but I think that they're definitely in the better spot right now. They've had a cleaner start.
Mira was at pipe.
There's Bo, like that's Eastern already.
Yeah.
With everything, well, I guess they don't have a. I mean, you can do pod in the dark, but it'd be pretty nasty right now. But yeah, kind of when you find the mirror on the bow, you sort of want to be able to do pod and Eastern at the same time, assuming pod's going to be a crystal.
Gravity suit too? What the heck? This is like almost SM Go mode already.
This is SM Go mode. Yeah, this is SM Go mode.
They need 2 tanks.
Oh,
that's why I said almost.
Excuse me. Okay, if they don't have to get 2 tanks in the rest of the seat, I'll retire. Okay, like. Yeah, so at 16-12, that's
dude.
We'll just call it SM Go mode. Screw it.
So there was a Master Sword at Alpha Missiles too. So there's actually already 3 missiles. Or sorry, 3 swords.
Can we have this seed, please?
This seed is actually free.
Well, it's free until we start. See, the problem is we still don't have Death Mountain access, or excuse me, Dark Rock access, and like literally everything but 3 SM checks are in logic now. Like you can't get GT missile, right? You can't get Shack Tool. Well, no, actually you can. It's not in logic, but you can get it. And you can't get the 2 speed. You can't. There's only 1 speed location you can't scout, right? So pretty much everything is at least knowable, except for 1 location. Right, so glove could be literally anywhere in SM.
Yeah, that's kind of the sad part. The unfortunate part, I guess.
I would be interested to see if flippers show up, because we could have a Meridia Dark World access here. We do have Cape, so it could also logically the seed could put Lamp and say, okay, you're supposed to go through Aga. But all these players will. Well, I assume all these players are going to would just do the fake flipper, because there's a really nice way to hop up onto the bridge by pod. That's really safe. It's so much safer coming from Meridia to Dark World than going from Dark World to Meridia, because there's a nice little setup you can do.
Oh, going from Meridia to Dark World, you can fake flipper? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So you do the fake flipper, and then the reason why it's safe is because you can hop up onto the shallow water and start walking, so you don't get insta-killed anymore. And you can actually jump from the shallow water to the bridge with a little bit of trickery. You basically jump in the water and you hold up, and Link will actually jump up onto the bridge.
Gotcha.
So that's really safe. You can do it the other way too, but you have to do this pretty tricky swim. And if you just get bad RNG, you're going to get nuked in the water. So. All right, looks like, yeah, BF's going to be getting this third. This is going to be his 3rd sword already. Meanwhile, poor Krokemeyer has none. but he certainly knows about all of them. I'm not sure where he's going to. Only to the past. See what he does here. He knows about the hookshot and everything, and he's got the flute, so it's not like he has to save the old man. So yeah, he's just gonna flute away. I think this makes sense. Doesn't really need to do any of this stuff because it's gonna be a little easier for BF to do it right now. Interested to see what this shovel is gonna be. I'm assuming it's nothing because we found so much. It's pretty unlikely to be anything.
Yeah, so at this point, I mean, since they have so many SM items, I guess it's kind of enticing you to go do more SM. What do you think is like kind of the best routing that they should take? Like maybe split someone down and then they go up.
So since assuming they can do the fake flip and I'm comfortable with it, I'd be sending someone to Meridian into Dark World right now. Get one of your players into Dark World. The thing is, like, there's so much to do. Norfair is not attractive to me because I want to be able to just do everything at once. Like they could kill Ridley, obviously. It's just this is pretty low health and everything, so you probably don't want to. So I want to put off Norfair for a little bit. Like if you had a very strong SM player, you could send them to lower Norfair, honestly. But yeah, I want one of the players to get into Dark World and start clearing that stuff out. Especially with Hookshot, you can get over. You know, you can easily get over to the Thieves Town area and stuff. And if Thieves Town is a crystal, that's a dungeon you can get done. You can get Eastern done. So yeah, that's especially with me and a mirror too. So you can like, you know, do Graveyard Ledge and all that kind of stuff. So it's not in Logic, but I feel like in co-op, you want someone beelining there as soon as possible.
Right. Yeah.
And then obviously on your way, you're gonna clear out Meridia, which is one of the biggest places in SM too. God knows what you're gonna find. You can just find the glove there, and then it's not even a thing, right? So. But yeah, usually I like delaying Meridia if I can't get into Dark World, but they can right now, so I think it's a pretty good play. The only thing they're really going to miss out on is Shack. You can even do Plasma if you wanted to. You can clean it out. I mean, you can do Shack if you want to. Right? If like I said, BF and Croak both in the Triple Bingo tournament. There's the old get Spring Ball without grapple, so I'm sure they they both can do it.
Yeah, I forget where Ice Beam was though. Neither of them have it.
Ice Beam was like in Kakariko, wasn't it? Where was Ice Beam?
Yeah, I think it was maybe.
Back of Sasha. Yeah, it was one of those. Okay. But they have the mirror, so they're gonna get the bow. It's gonna drag them to Sasha. So yeah, I guess knowing what the X Rams of Shrooms know, I wouldn't send either one to Meridia, right? Because I can't get to Dragon yet. I don't want to double dip it, so they've got a little bit more of an interesting call. I'd probably send one of them to maybe do Eastern then, right? Because that's a dungeon, and then maybe I'm partly saying that because I know I'd get the Ice Beam there, which would help, but yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay, I think this is AceT's first trip into Croc. I don't remember seeing anything over here. I don't think there's anything of note. I don't see anything that is really missing. So, yeah, it's gonna just be a full clear. Where was Grav?
It was Retro Brinstar Power Bombs.
Retro Brinstar. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because Ace would have the knowledge to be able to do that Meridia play. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes that play. Because Meridia is a pretty beefy location. It's slow on this loadout, but like I said, you can get to Dark World, let Tracy kind of hang out in SM, clear all this stuff out.
Yeah, I expect probably. I mean, he will check Blue Bryn because neither of them went there. He'll find that extra sword, and I feel like since you're in the position to go beat Wreck Ship anyways, you might as well, and then go to Meridia. But I don't know if you beeline into Meridia.
Yeah, Wreck Ship is. Wreck Ship's really not all that dense, and it's like, if you kind of compare it to a Link to the Past dungeon, it's like, I mean, the actual dungeon is really, it's just the first part, right, to get to the boss, and there's this whole, like, it's basically like Left Side Swamp on steroids, I guess if I had to explain it, where, sure, there's more stuff, but there's also, you know, it takes a while. So, like, once you start getting a bunch of stuff like this and you can start checking stuff, I'm not a big fan of chasing Wreck Ship. Wreck Ship's one of those things, like, you either do it super early, like right away, or you run out of things to do early and you do it then, or you do it late. In this situation, I'm not really a fan of Wreck Ship, because, and especially, like, you know, it's one of those things like, well, it's, you know, you want speed just in case there's something that Wreck Ship reserves, you're not double dipping and that kind of stuff, so.
It always sucks when you find an item on that Wreck Ship reserve item and you need it, but you don't have speed.
Yeah, it's getting pretty bad.
Well, yeah, Half Magic was at where was it? Like Grady Tank, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's a nice utility item to get,
Yeah.
but especially since Ace is the one that's missing that, he's not gonna. Ace is a very experienced Link to the Past player, not gonna be pulled towards it, but he, you know, he might get it like towards the end, you know, just while he's in the neighborhood. It's nice to have. I've learned my lesson plenty of times. If you have Fire Rod but not Lamp, you want Half Magic for the climb, because you use a lot of magic, and it's like, oh, I'm out, and I need to light torches with magic. Nice setup by Ace there to get. It's a little harder to get on the way back, honestly, so. And BF having a nice nifty little bomb jump there to get Hera, so if they are as new as you say they are, they're looking pretty good on the Link to the Past side. But I'm not, like, it definitely seems like X Grams of Shrooms sort of has an early lead here, but I think overall they're the stronger SM team, and AceT is going to want to live in, especially this is such an early SM seed. But there's, no matter what, you have to do a lot of a Link to the Past, even if it's just go mode every dungeon. So there's a lot to be done on that side for AceT to make up significant time.
Yeah, and Book was at Old Mother Brain, so that's desert access, right?
Desert access, yeah, but no, no fire source, no boots, no glove. You're not going to desert yet. Like, unless you saw something on the ledge, you're definitely not going to desert. Plus, you already got the float, you got the mirror. You probably want to do it with Meyer or something, so, or even with LN, because you can, if you do it through LN, you can do desert without the glove, because you can. The mirror is in logic.
Yeah, they actually could go to LN right now with the stuff they have.
Not only could they go to it, it is in logic. So
there you go. Yeah, I always forget about those portals all the time. So yeah, because I was thinking like, oh, they need 2 gloves. You know.
Yeah, desert without a glove, being in logic in SMZ3 is kind of cool. I always like that one. Ooh, that looked like something interesting on Floating Island. Maybe it was just a missile. I only could see the bottom.
Yeah, I couldn't catch that.
I almost wanted to say it was Varia, but they already have it, so I know that's not it. Yeah, the teams seem pretty similar spots overall now. I think X Grams is just a little bit further ahead in progression.
There was a glove in the spiral cave.
Oh, okay. There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Dark World access, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that is Dark World access. Which we already logically. Oh, no, we did not have it logic because we don't have the flippers. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see Ace not make. He's kind of just falling right in Tracy's footsteps. With his knowledge, you know, I really kind of would have rather seen the Meridia play here and go straight to Dark World. I guess it wouldn't end up mattering all that much here because that glove's pretty close in Tracy's path, but I think that probably would have been the right call. Yeah, high jump in Paradox that's very nice.
So yeah, Pod, Skull, and Mire are pendants.
Okay, so with Pod pendant, yeah, you can beeline Eastern without having to worry about like trying to get a nice combo of Pod. The flip side is if you do ever want to make the Pod dip, doing it with Eastern is also kind of the natural time to do it. Ooh, boots too.
Boots, yeah, that's nice.
Desert's getting closer to being logic. Still want that fire source though. It's not a terrible dip to make. Because you have the mirror, right? So whenever you're gonna get into the Mire area or even just LN area, you can just come out and finish desert really quickly. So it's not the worst double dip to make, honestly. But book's kind of slow to get in. I'm sure it's not high on, and we have Dark World now, so Extrams has Dark World, so not gonna be beelining, especially with Thieves Town as a crystal. That's definitely the one you want to knock off first. Was there something in Hera that I missed?
No, I don't think there was anything good in Hera. It was just money.
Yeah, so I don't get why... If there's nothing in here and your partner does this, as long as you have the mirror or, Swamp as a crystal, like, you just do Hera at the very end.
Yeah, especially since Tracy was already in there, so I definitely would have just skipped Hera.
Yeah, I mean, there's... With last to finish, there is a little bit of like a balancing act. You don't want someone to get too far ahead. Like the optimals always like finish right on top of each other, just from like a kind of like game theory standpoint, where each player was like checking as much as they can up to the last second. But so there was like something that said like, well, let's let one person catch up while the other person kind of pushes ahead. But like when there's so much available, and like you don't even know who's like technically ahead at this point. Like it doesn't make sense to clean this up because this is just time Ace could be clearing out items. And progressing further into the seed. So he's kind of paying an opportunity cost here.
Oh, wow. Titans mitts at Sick Kid. So, yeah. Boy. Man, this seed.
Yeah, I know there was a bottle at Criteria Supers. I guess there's another one somewhere else that I missed.
It was at Brinstar Reserve. I think that's the logical first bottle.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm not sure if everyone... Because that's based on where all the other items, I might have been tempted to skip the Brinstar Reserve. I think everyone got it, though. Morph Ball Bombs. That's what was on Floating Island. I told you it was something good.
Where? Wait.
Morph Ball Bombs were on Floating Island.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, the one I couldn't quite see because of the dead rocks earlier. So that's definitely a good item up there. Actually, good item that's actually now in Logic with those mitts. So, yeah, making a super early Dark Death because you get the Turtle Rock Scout, especially if you know about those Morph Ball Bombs. You'll get paid back with those. Those can speed you up in a couple places. It is our Can Fly right now. First thing, only way to get to Criteria Power Bombs. So yeah, beelining to Dark Death Mountain once you find those mitts makes a lot of sense. Worst case scenario, the only thing you're going to end up with is more fall bombs, and you'll get a valuable scout and TR. And there's the mitts for AceT as well. This is a minor thing, but you see BF here is clearing out Village of Outcasts before going to Thieves Town. It's a little less efficient to do it before you clean it out. The only time I ever like doing it is if I'm missing either boots, sword, or hammer. So would have been slightly more efficient to go straight in, but it's really not a big deal. They're just like, it's like three weird, like they're put in this like weird triangle, but there's no like perfectly efficient way to get all of them.
wow. Speed Booster was at the dig location.
Oh boy, remember when I said a
fine.
shovel wasn't anything? Okay,
Oh,
so that's
I always check that dig location. First thing I do when I find that shovel.
so I think literally the only item they can't get into SM right now is GT missile, and then Shack Tool you can't get logically. Oh wait, no, the Puyo clip is in hard. For some reason, I always thought it was not in hard mode. I don't know why, but it is in hard. So yeah, literally the only item we can't get in SM is GT missile.
This is the kind of seed I like to see.
Yeah, we have all 3 boots, so that's nice. At this point, asking for a space jump is just being greedy.
Well, I'll ask. Space jump, please. I need to fill that high jump speed booster space jump tile. Imagine doing rando bingo.
We've done it. I was just about to say we've tried it. I think Bressingham made a set of cards for it, and it was a thing. Yeah, the problem was it mostly just ended up being normal rando because like it's like get ice beam and ice rod. It's like okay, that sounds neat, but then like either one could be in GT, so you just have to play the game the entire way through. It's like oh cool. Okay. The dividing line between what is and what is not in hard logic is arbitrary and confusing.
I agree.
I'm just gonna say that.
What confuses me the most is that snail clip is in logic. But
why is that confusing?
Yeah. I mean, it's way harder than most other clips.
Yeah, I guess I should.
Like apparently, because oh well. Does X-ray make it easier? That I don't know that.
It makes it easier from a setup standpoint because you can just buffer the snail. I don't think it actually makes it any easier when you're standing on the snail.
Right. It still needs to be on that same pixel, right?
Yeah. So it's like I think it's 6 tall with high jump and 2 tall without high jump. I don't think it should be in without high jump. I'll say that. With high jump, it's pretty wide. So. I mean, I guess that's fairly arbitrary as well, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess the thing is, like, the Puyo Ice Clip is super lenient once you have X-ray, so I understand that being in logic, but Snail Clip, I mean, it's pretty precise.
M2 saying you can actually... I've never actually tried the X-ray climb with it higher. But yeah, I use X-ray to set it up, because it's much easier to buffer with the X-ray than it is to turn back and forth, to be precise. So it definitely makes it easier from that standpoint. If nothing else. And you were the one saying that there's only like 3 tricks in SM the other day, and there's like a billion variations on each trick.
There's like 3 tricks that require glitches, I guess. Let me put it that way. Most tricks are just variations on movement.
Yeah, I mean, short charging is technically, I guess it's more of an exploit than a glitch. It's kind of like bomb jump, where you're just abusing the game's mechanics.
Yeah.
There we have Flying getting a little bit away from BF there, but that early cape coming into use right there.
I love cape for this blind fight.
Yeah, meanwhile, Ace again, a really good NMG player, is just going to tear through this. This is a very NMG-esque dungeon, so you only have to make a couple small deviations. Mostly the attic is kind of goofy compared to NMG, so yeah, Ace is going to make short work of this. But he stops for a heart. What the hell, Ace? As I'm complimenting him. Gets a heart when he's got blue mail and 4 hearts.
I would need a heart here, TBH. Not gonna
You don't have a
judge.
126, so. I can guarantee you Ace picked up that heart. He was thinking like, oh, Duck's gonna Duck's gonna charge me for this one, isn't he? I'm gonna improve everyone's owing to the pastimes by intimidation. It's my role here.
Nice. That's why I'm telling everyone to go for Plasma Spark.
Oh my god.
Get good, kids.
You and Ivan can go start your Plasma Spark club.
I think I will.
You know, and yeah, Crocomar's doing the same thing where he's doing hair and when there's nothing in here. So I'm looking at there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing I'm missing. So I don't understand doing this and just not doing it just in go mode right at the end. I'm not sure about their. The really bizarre one is Ace because he obviously can do the hair pattern and he did a great job in there. It just is a lightning fast dungeon at the end there.
Yeah, I guess the thought process is like I want to go get the item at Death Mountain, so I might as well beat Hera now. But I mean, I agree, it's faster to do it later.
Yeah, it's just like I said, there is a time when it's like in last to finish where it's like okay, like when you, especially when you get down just to a couple checks, like instead of sending your partner off to do like a 1 in 100 check, it's like, look, you start cleaning up your dungeons to catch up a little bit, and I'll just find the last thing, right? Because basically I have a bunch of extra time and you don't. But when you do it this early, it's like you're just costing opportunity cost to get further into the seed for your team. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this cleanup right now. Just when there's so many, I mean, you can do Lower Norfair, you can do Meridia, you can do, you know, there's a bunch of Dark World. You have the Mitts already, you can go to Mire. I wouldn't want to go into Mire, but, you know, we don't have a fire source. But yeah, there's just a ton of really good checks to do, and just doing something you know is nothing. It just seems like a curious call. But they both did it, so at least from a race standpoint, it doesn't matter. They both paid the same price.
There was X-ray at the digging game, so you know Croak is gonna go straight for that X-ray.
Sure. No, don't have plasma yet to make it actually mean anything, but I mean,
actually,
I guess
they're in like pretty much SM Go mode, so I guess there's
yeah.
No
I mean,
if X-ray,
it's not that bad play. I think it was a relatively quick dig too. So like, if you're thinking like maybe you want to do Shack Tool. And the X-ray makes it a little easier for you. Like, it's not the worst grab.
Yeah.
You can also just gamble. You're going to find Plasma before Dragon. So, and, like, makes stand-up safer. Like, it's got a bunch of, like, utility uses. Oh, well, there's your space jump. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, so that's the can fly for them. They didn't get bombs, right? No.
Yeah, they didn't go back up. Bombs was in Logic, so Canfly was in Logic in the Sphere, but obviously no one had it. But yeah, this is literally every single item in, I guess, except Shack Tool logically, but we can get it. So I'm just gonna find Spring Ball now. I'm sure, just to make them, just give them everything. Everything does include Spring Ball. Look, they can do Hundo Aqueduct with Spring Ball at this point.
That's a sick strat.
It is a sick strat. I had a. It's funny how like impossible it is to actually have it set up in rando, because it's like it requires it requires speed, it requires space jump, it requires Spring Ball, it requires high jump. It's like you have to have so much to be able to do this.
True.
This is literally impossible to ever.
And
I had a chance to do it
coming...
once, and I missed it, and I was so mad. I was like, this was the dream.
Yeah, you have to be coming from Dragon too.
Yeah, and half the times you don't want to. You're not coming that way. Like Well, I mean, that's not if you do like backdoor, you'll be going that way, right? So, and I prefer the backdoor given the option. So, generally, the going that way is less of a big deal, especially if you're going to do like a loop around to plasma and check all that stuff. So, this is our just noticing now. Tracy is going to be the first player into wreck ship. So, like I said, I'm not a fan of this. Just like there's so much to do. Like there's so much in logic and everything. But that being said, like literally just one item has to be here, right? And it's going to pay off. The only thing is like we're out of like big items. Like we have both suits, we have mitts, we have hookshot, we have hammer, we have dark world access. Like the best bet for them is something like the Turtle Rock medallion is here, and X grams of Shrooms really hard want to put off wreck ship just really late and like try to skip it. Flippers would also be pretty big because that's really only giving you swamp. Pretty much everything else that you need flippers for, you can break pretty easily. Or even ice rod. I mean, ice rod would be good too. Like
Yeah.
one of those like things that doesn't really affect the seed, but could be like, you know, just the last little piece you need.
That ice rod, I think, is gonna. It can definitely troll pretty hard because logically it can be anywhere. It's not doesn't lock anything.
Literally, it's anywhere but one spot. That's it.
Yeah, so it's rough.
And medallions aren't better because it's literally anywhere but that dungeon. So yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah, medallions too. Yeah.
Fire rod, especially if you get bombos, so it doesn't matter for ice palace logic. Like yeah, there's a cane. Basically, all the like yeah, all the stuff they need isn't really locked by much. Like so, anything can be anywhere now. We have so much of both worlds open that.
Did they scout out Turtle Rock though?
I don't think anyone's even gone up to Dark Death Mountain since we found those mitts, and apparently, no, that's right. Yeah, both teams have them. So I'm surprised. Like I said, like they're already pretty deep in the sea. They're kind of well, that was one of the things. I mean, we don't know if that's Turtle Rock's medallion, but that's you know potentially one of the best things that AceT could find in here.
I would definitely check that. Like the way this seed is going, I would check that medallion for sure because you know that can give you a little bit of hint on whether you know Ice Palace has Fire Rod or
yeah, I mean like
get in there because of bombos, stuff like that.
Yeah, you're acting like it's like just checking the medallion. It's checking the medallion and you get 6 checks. Like there's a lot of stuff up there. And like I said, you know you're getting morph ball bombs, and at the time they didn't have a Canfly yet. So that made a ton of sense to Beeline because it's like you know you're getting paid back for it. You're gonna get the scout, and it's one of the most like densest locations available. So
what 6 locations are you talking about? Like just the Dark Death Mountain?
Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave.
Hookshot, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So like, there was just so much upside to doing that right away.
Yeah,
I guess 7, right, with the flood. The only downside to it is it hard isolates Spike Cave, but like if you know Spike Cave is the thing that tends to get isolated. Wait, no, they have Cape. It doesn't even do that. Yeah.
The problem was like no one had Titan's mitts except for Croak, so yeah.
Yeah, but
Croak was really in the only good position to do it.
Yeah, but I'm saying by this point, both teams have had mitts for a while. I just feel like that's something like before wreck ship, right? So it just seems weird that no one's gone up there at all.
True. It's 6 quick checks compared to wreck ships like slow 5 or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's like 10 or something. I don't know. Oh, we did see a Spike Cave from Croak. It wasn't anything. I'm not sure if AceT did it, but that's even more of a reason for them to do it, so. Yeah, I mean, the flip side is, like, so much of this world's opened up at the same time, like, it can, especially doing co-op, like, I think when you're solo, you have a little bit more time to, like, sit and collect your thoughts. Like, when you're playing co-op, you're trying to, like, shuffle around 2 people at this, you're not only got your seat in your head, you got your partner seat in your head and their relative position and everything, so, like, you know, like it could just be like, I'm going to wreck ship. It's like, oh, that sounds fine. Like, you know, so it's tough. Like it really is. So. All right, we do have Ace going into Eastern now, with this being in fully in logic with the bow. Especially, again, Pod's a pendant. We're really only... What are we from go mode? We're both rods, cane, and potentially that's it if...
Flippers.
Oh, and flippers.
Yeah.
And potentially that's it if Turtle Rock is Ether. So five total, including the scout slash whatever the medallion is. So yeah, they're pretty thin. Like, you're probably not thinking Pod. You don't want to save this for Pod. It's just a dungeon, get it done. There's another bottle up there in Sky Missile. We'll see if Tracy's gonna take the time to get it. Looks like she is. It's so easy to lose where you are on the screen and just forget where you're supposed to shine. Like, oh yeah, that's...
Yeah, it all looks the same after a while.
Yeah, I'm always like, yeah, just shine on the right side of the platform, and then I'm like, oh god, oh, okay, well...
There's Kane.
Yeah, as far as I was saying for Wreck Ship. Although I will say, like, in the world where AceT wants Grams of Shrooms to put off Wreck Ship as much as possible, your ideal situation is actually one thing is in there, right? So it forces them into as many other locations. The more stuff that's in there, there's just less stuff they can possibly do before they eventually decide to come here. And, you know, Wreck Ship's generally something you're going to do sooner than later, but, you know, they might... Oh, and they're coming here anyways. Never mind.
Yeah, Kane being there isn't even that bad anyways.
No, I mean... The only thing is, I think this is more of a solo seed thing than a co-op thing, is there's always the top of Wreck Ship skip that you can do, but I don't think they're going to want to make that call. There's the top of Wreck Ship skip, and then there's also the bowling alley skip. Finding two items before bowling alley, and when you don't have that much left, I could see an argument for skipping bowling alley here, but probably not top. Yeah, I meant to is like if you are going to skip, you 100% have to peek, especially with speed, because you just go straight there. That's not even an issue.
Yeah, so imagine peeking, you're like, oh, there's that Kane. Such a good peek.
Yeah, we are getting our... It's weird that Croak is coming this way to LN when you could have just flued it. Like, there's just so much walking in LN you gotta do. Did he come straight? I mean, I don't think he did Upper Norfair at all, so, like, the reason to do this first would be to do Upper Norfair to try to get... Because he's a low in general, like, wants a couple more things. What is Croak doing? What is this? Is he gonna shine? Something. Wait, he doesn't have... Yeah, he does have spaceship. Is he shining, like, to the left? Like, what else are you gonna do with this thing?
I don't know. It's just a flex.
Okay, if you don't know what... I just assume, like, this is some, like, bizarre strat I was unaware of, but, okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't think he could use it for anything. I mean, the best thing he could use it for is, like, maybe Crystal Flash Spark, but doesn't even have enough ammo to Crystal Flash, so...
Yeah. Does opt to, even though he's space jump, not to check the item here. It's kind of a 50-50 call. Like, if you have, like, plasma, I think it's just definitely better just to go there because you don't have to worry about ammo. He doesn't have the greatest beams, so he definitely wants a lot of these supers for Ridley. But yeah, I just... Why not just float here? Like, it just saves you so much walking through SM.
Yeah, I'd probably just, you know, forgot about that, because I definitely have.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, these guys definitely lean towards SM, but, I mean, they've been playing well. I haven't seen any, like... anything that really sticks out on Link to the Past. Like, I mean, they're obviously stronger SM players, but, like, their Link to the Past has been solid so far.
Oh, Ace is dipping pod. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, this feels early with Meridian and all that stuff still on the table. Like,
yeah, I mean, he has flute, so it's like, even if there did happen to be something at pod, it's pretty easy to get back here. So,
yeah, is this? It's always hard to tell on on the restream. This isn't green pendant, right? What is green? Looks like Misery Meyer is green.
Misery, yeah, Myers green.
Yeah, so there's not even the upside of this being the green pendant. You get a bonus. I mean, it is 5 items in here, but like.
But what if it's a ped seed?
Oh God. I'm so glad I have Twitch chat joining me in the booth today.
All right, Twitch chat here.
Okay. You know,
What
I
happened?
don't. Flippers was pod big key.
All right, well.
So, I don't. I hate results-oriented thinking. I still think this is the wrong call right now, but this is a huge payoff for them.
Yeah, I mean, it was a play and it paid off.
Yeah, like I could see it's like, oh, we think we're behind or something, but like at 53, I mean, I guess in a co-op seed, 53 is actually pretty deep. I've been pretty close to a go mode at 53 minutes before, so like you can think you're behind, you got to make a play, but you know, these teams are pretty evenly matched. Like, you know, it's not like they're playing AceT full screen or anything where they gotta make a Hail Mary early. So it's a weird call for me. It does pay off big for them. Yeah, now I think the story of the seed is going to be, when does X grams go here?
Yeah, that's the problem, right? It's I feel like that location specifically is probably going to troll pretty hard. Since
Especially
there's so many crystal dungeons that they could do, you know. So
crystal dungeon. No one's gone into Meridia. I've been calling for Meridia.
Or Meridia too.
5 minutes into this seed. Like, yeah, just go to Darkworld, man. Forehead. Like, just what are you doing? So yeah, I mean, the big thing, I think, especially if there's a very late lamp, if X grams of Shrooms isn't all that comfortable with the pod Darkworms, may not want to pull the trigger on a pod before lamp. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, that might be the game right there, honestly. Like that's such an oddball location with just so much open in the seed. It's really going to depend on when these rods come into play. If you're rooting for X grams, you want the rods to be deep. So AceT is going to have to start dipping some of the other pendants or something. But yeah, if Go mode falls into... I mean, Go mode can come so quick in co-ops too. Like, I mean, the AceT could find both rods, you know, in 2 different locations, like right now. And that'll be pretty much it, so... There's got to be... There's got to be one in Norfair and one in Meridia, right? That's definitely where they are.
Oh, Lamp was at GT Missiles. Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, that is... Okay, so that's gonna... That'll make... You know, again, I'm not entirely sure if they're comfortable. I mean, again, they're deep in this tournament at this point. I'm sure they can at least do the Dark Rooms. It may not be their favorite thing in the world, but you know, I think that it may have made a difference when they might have pulled that trigger. But I still don't think they go to the pod soon. Like,
it's mostly for that fire source, like you're saying, because then they can get those few items, like maybe in Mire.
There's Ether is... okay, I don't... Oh, this... Yeah, the ye oldie, my partner found it, so I think I had it, so I'm just going to go in there. Move, that's a classic. Everyone's favorite. That's so hard in co-op, especially on these, like, little used items, like, just, like, activators, like a medallion. It's like, yeah, my partner found it, so I totally have this item, right? And it's like, oh, wait, no, I actually need to go pick it up.
Yeah. Where was Ether again? I forgot. Oh, Wreck Ship. That's where it was. No, Beefy. Don't get Spazer. What a shame.
Somewhere Sephi is smiling.
Okay. And I'm crying.
Okay, we do have like I said for this I was mentioning earlier, can't finish desert. Oh wait, no, he's got the lamp. He found the lamp now. Never mind. Yeah, this is fully completable, so this makes tons of sense. But even if they didn't have the fire source, I think this is fine because you can just come back here later and mirror. But at this point, the goal is to just never come back here.
Come back where? Oh, right,
to the whole Desert Mire lower north
Yeah.
area, because Croak will just finish all of it. It does have to be... I've never been nervous in Desert Palace for someone's health before, but here we are. I'm a little nervous. There are hearts in those pots. Oh, nope. That's not going to fill them up. All right. They're on the bottom, I believe. Nope, goodbye. Let's see if he knows about the fairies.
There's fairies.
Yeah, if you the room you go out on, you can push one of the blocks. Don't ask me which one, but it's one of them. You can push one of these blocks. I think it's the second from the right on this left side, and you can go up. The room above that is fairies. So they're they really, like, the only times that you'll ever see this, like, when players very first start running like NMG, they'll grab those if they grab a very early bottle in that. Are getting an X-ray check. This is... Oh, we have space. Never mind. I forgot that we were just loaded to the teeth in SM here. Oh, try to go for some extra speed by getting the balls right into the yapping mall. And Ace is 100% making the correct call. You make a play like he did going to pod, you beeline it. And there's grapple. You know what? Why not? Just... So yeah, if something is in here for Ace, that could be pretty big. It's still shocking to me that out of 4 people, we haven't seen a Dark Death Mountain. You got to think with AceT only being 2 rods away, and again 6 checks being out there, and one of them very well could be there. The Death Mountain has got to come soon. Cause you want to know if that's you're looking for a medallion on top of the 2 rods.
I thought you were saying they should check Meridia.
I've been saying a lot of things. Again, with 4 players, it's surprising me we haven't seen that yet. Like, I know there's players are always like, and I think it's more of a thing in regular A Link to the Past randomizer than here, where it's like you don't want too many trips up the mountain. But like, you know, these are 2 plus 2.5 hour games. Like, it's only a minute to go up the mountain, and it's pretty valuable. So I think putting it off is riskier here than it is in regular Link to the Past randomizer.
Yeah, if I was Croak, I definitely would have done that Dark Death Mountain check, because he had the mitts. I really like doing that as early as possible, because there's so many locations there, like you said.
Yeah, especially like when you have this like lone medallion and you're close to go mode. Oh, okay, we are an Ice Rod and ATR check away at this point. So potentially an Ice Rod and another medallion, or it could just be an Ice Rod from being in, at least us knowing where everything is.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It can come so fast, especially in co-op. I mean, even more so when we have 4 people doing it. Like, we can go from like we don't know where stuff is to we know everything in seconds. So. Now, I definitely would have preferred that being Ice Rod because, like, I think the Turtle Rock play with no Fire Rod is pretty good because it's almost certainly going to kick you out almost immediately. But without Ice Rod, then you're pretty much banking on it being in there, or especially in SMZ3, because if you go, I'm almost positive if you go to SM, your portal's going to get destroyed, so you can't hold it. You can send someone there, but it's going to basically lock them into the link to the past half of the world, looking for it. Which wouldn't be so bad for extrams of Shrooms, because they're pretty much going to have SM done. So if there's any, like, basically like Waterway and they never, I don't think they did the GT or the Criteria Super Scout. So, like, you know, Croak could, like, do those while BF is in Turrock and saving his portal and just doing, like, the past stuff.
Yeah, I don't think anyone scouted that out.
That's a shine I haven't seen.
Oh, yeah, nice. I haven't really seen that one either. I do remember seeing, like, I don't know, maybe a few years ago. But, yeah, that's definitely not really a strat nowadays.
Yeah, people always I mean, Krokmar obviously knows he's just showing off here because that's what he does. But I think people underestimate how long the crash animation takes.
Red boomerang, best boomerang.
BF is going to waste as much time as possible. Oh, there's Plasma. Definitely
Nice.
wasted more time skipping that missile than if he just picked it up, especially with no fanfare. Alright, Ace. Oh, not going for the zero cycle. Just going for a nice, easy Argus fight.
Is Argus even really a boss?
Yes. He's like every other boss, in which it's just a mass of eyes. That's the only boss you're allowed to have in the Link to the Past.
True.
I assume in the beta, Moldorm was just a series of eyeballs getting progressively smaller until they decided it was just too much.
Yeah, where is it? They do that a lot in like a later Zelda where it's like Moldorm and it's multiple eyes and you just keep smashing each eye, something like that. I think that's what they were going
there's
for.
like the Link's Awakening one where it's like the slime that keeps splitting. Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah, something like that. It wasn't the slime though. I was pretty sure it's a Moldorm, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just misremembering.
I mean, like that sounds like it could be a Zelda boss. So I'll just be like, sure, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. It's just a bunch of eyes.
Oh, it had a bunch of eyes? Yeah, that's a Zelda
Yeah.
boss. Sure.
Okay, so Turtle Rock was Ether, after
Okay.
all.
So, yeah, we just have a... Huh. I'm not sure why Tracy went... Again, without Fire Rod, you might as well check the first couple chests. Because it's like, if the first key's chest not a key, you're getting kicked out. And then you need a key at... Chain Chomps. I can't believe I spaced out. I think I was just PTSD talking. Need a key at Chain Chomps to go even further than that. Like, it's pretty likely to not let you go in pretty deep. I mean, it is possible to get all the way to Mimic Cave without Fire Rod. But oh no, it's possible to get the Laser Bridge without Fire Rod, honestly. But that's pretty rare. It's never happened to me, honestly. Oh, she did go. Okay. Look, there's 4 screens. It's surprisingly hard to keep track of all 4 people at once.
Silvers. Let's go.
And Quake for good measure, which we know is not needed. Because I'm pretty sure Misery Mire and Turtle Rock were both Quake.
Yeah, so it's just Rod go mode.
Yeah, I think... So AceT still needs... This is a backdoor from Ace, so they still need the Fire Rod. I mean, I highly doubt he's not going to full clear this, or certainly not going to miss Main Street. So, yeah, they're going to be And Ace knows about the ether. So yeah, they just need the ice rod, and I think. Oh, and yeah, X grams of shrooms is still down those flippers.
Yeah, it's the flippers that are gonna bite him.
Yeah, so unless this ice rod is somewhere bizarre, this is looking really good for AceT.
Yep, they're
X
just
grams
one
is
item
definitely
away.
ahead in the boss count. I mean, Ace, yeah, Ace has swamp and eastern. Yeah, it's even like boss count is pretty close. Are we gonna have the ice rod on check? The dream.
Let's find out. Oh, where was grapple beam, by the way? I actually missed that.
That was X-ray.
Okay. X-ray.
Yeah.
That must have been a while ago.
Yeah, BF did it on the kind of on the way to Meridia.
Best beam in SM.
He's saving those frames by those morph and morphs there. It's like pumping, but worse. So it's the
Pumping,
vertical,
but the opposite.
yeah, it's the vertical pump. Just an E-tank, which honestly, BF is at 2 E-tanks. He was probably like, oh man, I really want that. But it just takes so long to come out of here even. We'll see if... Did Ace check plasma on the way down here? Well, because if you reverse, it's kind of more natural to do like a sandpit and then go up to check it. But I would have expected that after the first try. Is Ace gonna... No. Not gonna keep the cane. Good. He realized the Eye of Duck was watching and would have passed judgment if he kept that cane.
But it's red Samaria. I would want that. Or not red
blue
Samaria, sorry, blue Samaria.
Red Samaria, aka Samaria. I mean, even BF keeping this because he's got cape. Like even if you're not a you know, as confident as Ace is your Link to the Past, like you already have cape. Like what is Kane really getting you?
Yeah, true.
I suppose BF may be doing the plasma loop here in which you grab it so you have it in case you do keep it, and then you might reset after plasma. So we'll see.
Lag is a feature.
You know, meanwhile, Krokomire is like, I have this X-ray. I'm going to use it. come hell or high water.
I approve. That's what I'm here for.
And it looks like AceT is sending Tracy down into Lower Norfair.
Yeah, that was a little strange. It looked like Tracy was going to go into Mire, but then decided not to, so maybe, I don't know. Has she done Desert Palace? No, okay. Might just be doing it later, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this could just be... check the GT area, and... Nope. She's going for it. 3 A-Tanks is certainly not the comfiest Lower Norfair ever. It does have a ton of supers, does have the screw attack. Screw attack makes the Ridley fight way comfier. Just you get in trouble on Ridley, you just screw attack a bunch, and there you go. Still have to avoid the tail, but you know it's not too bad. Plus gravity suit. I have full confidence she'll get through this just fine. And of course, space attack, screw attack, and space jump make getting there really comfy as well.
So, I wonder actually, since I don't think AceT knows that Lamp is at GT missiles.
No, they don't.
Yeah. So, is there like ever a way where like Lamp is hard required to get Fire Rod?
Yes. If it's as long as it's behind basically a torch. So on Lammo, left side of Meyer, and I think that's it. As far as like completely unbreakable, those are the places where it would be. Obviously, it can be like a dark room or something where it's logically required, but all these players will be able to break that. So, but they just found the fire rod, so they're not worried about it. So I'm not worried about that for them. This could also be, especially in this like ammo situation, when you have the flute and everything, where you don't want to blow all your supers before going to Ridley, because then you got to farm for a while, and that's really slow. So if you're in this situation, just like going to Ridley and then coming back for GT, because you can just flute here and come back in. It's pretty slow checks at that point, but you know it's a common play, so it makes sense. I'm going to say Ace is not going to be very happy about seeing this grapple immediately after finishing Meridia, because this is basically the, hey, you remember Shaq item?
Yeah.
It's like a fetch quest, but worse. Like it's
SM's version of a fetch quest.
Yeah, that and the space jump for GT missile. It's just like, oh yeah, that. I mean, even speed booster, like, because you can, besides one item that you can't see at all, you can at least see everything, right? So there's only one item that you have absolutely no knowledge about.
Yeah, if you had X-ray in reserve, you could totally check Waterway. Just do Gmod.
Is this the first time Shrooms is checking Ice Rod? Ice Beam?
Ice Beam? Yes, I think so. None of them like stayed in Norfair too long.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the early Vara, I usually check this right away. Or maybe it's just the BF was tired of being on 2E tanks, which I fully understand.
Yeah. Yeah, no one checked Croc yet. I guess Beefy just checked, or not Beefy, sorry. Croak checked Upper Norfair.
Yeah.
I assume Tracy's going to as well.
So I was just about to say, I think what makes a lot of sense here is Ice Palace, because we have the cane, we have the fire rod. I'm almost positive that's why Ace is deciding just to go ahead and do Wreck Ship here, because he really wants that red cane for Ice Palace for Icebreaker. So this makes a ton of sense. You're thinking, okay, Ice Palace is our next like big thing to do, especially with that fire rod. Because Skull is a pendant. We don't want to do that. It makes perfect sense for Ace just to. I mean, he's got to come here before, you know, the end of the game anyways. So this is a great time to do it. And I believe this is our first peek at Croc here.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like Shroom's plan is to kind of play as much SM as possible. They're full in clearing this like right off the bat before. There's definitely high value stuff in a Link to the Past 2 do. But they are sort of just clearing out SM as much as possible. This is like a good time to do Croc right after. Oh, I guess no. Sorry, Croak was the one who did Ridley. So.
Yeah, they're kind of just swapping places back and forth. They should be done here with SM though in a bit. There's really not much else to do except, I guess, check waterway.
Yeah, yield X-ray on Fantoon. Free 1 rounds. Unless you're me, and then you get a 5 round somehow while they're trying to do this.
I like the plasma shield from Croak. A lot of lag.
Yeah, don't see that very often, do you?
Strats. 6 strats, bro.
And just thank God it wasn't Spazer. And if anyone doesn't get that joke, I'm not going to explain it. BF finally in SM Go mode with those three tanks. 4 now, I guess. So there you go. Remember when I said they're going to have SM Go mode sooner than later? Yeah, it took BF a little while to get there, but he's caught up.
I mean, he had 2 tanks in reserve, so in theory he could have beaten it, but yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Don't really want to be in that position.
Yeah, I always forget if it's reserves because like they don't count for stand up, but they do count for the rainbow beam. It's weird. It's always nice when your co-op partner checks wreck ship because you can just leave right out the top here. No bowling today for Ace. So yeah, I really expect a nice palace dip here. Yeah, AceT's looking in really good shape with that. I mean, the pod is the play of the game so far.
Yeah.
Like I said, because Shrooms are really kind of committing to SM full clear, they've got a lot of high value link to the past stuff left, and then they got to get to the low value stuff like pod. Although, like, pod is going to be high in your list, like once the big things have been, like the easier overworld stuff plus your crystal dungeons. So like pod won't be like a last location, but it's probably gonna be a hot minute before they get there. So honestly, like Shroom's best bet is like an ice rod in like Mire or even Turtle Rock, and they make that call. The only place in, I guess, like a waterway would be good for them too, because who knows when AceT is going to clean that up. If they just commit to the full SM clear and cross that off too. But yeah, again, they're kind of following each other's footsteps when they don't have to, and just they're just not as a team pushing the seed forward. Kind of like I was saying on Hera, but this is even more time-consuming options here. BF getting that lamp. When you have got... oh, basically... Well, actually, they do have... Oh, I guess BF never... Oh, they never even went to Sasha. They don't have Ice Beam at all. It was so long ago. But yeah, with any sort of charge plasma, just... You know, if that lamp's going to make your life easier, this is definitely worth the side trick to get it. Okay, Ace is proving me a liar, not going to Ice Palace.
Yeah, I guess he's gonna check desert probably first. Has Tracy done that yet? No, because they don't have a fire source, so yeah. Probably trying to do another play of the game.
Yeah, Tracy didn't know about it. Or didn't have... I think they were finding Fire Rod right around this time.
Yeah, I bet Ice Rat's gonna be in Mire, honestly. Probably something truly like that.
Yeah, when a lot of times it always feels like it's when it's a lava dive too, so it's like it's even worse to get back to.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that's the big thing with Mire and SMZ3s. It really depends on whether or not you have that flute, because having to re-lava dive to get there just takes up so much time.
Wonder what Beefy's trying to do. I don't know. Looks a bit strange.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch it. It does look like he is making the Mire call. Oh, no, this is... You know, it's interesting. They both did this mirror. I would be surprised if they don't know about mirroring on the left, but maybe. Meanwhile, Croak is digging lots of holes.
Yeah.
He's got money, he's got arrows, he's got bombs.
And he's got magic.
Yeah, I don't... I'm gonna chop this up to...
You wanted a fairy.
Okay, that's a new one. So there are the bonk rocks like right above here that've got fairies in them. You know, that would have been. I mean, I guess that's not something everyone, especially like we said, these are SM mains. So, yeah, digging up fairies. That's a new one for me. I'm pretty sure the fairies are in... I know they're in Light World. I'm pretty sure, because there's also the bonk rocks there. I'm pretty sure that might be a big fairy in Dark World. I'm not 100% sure.
Is this possible? Is Croak trying to get in?
So
like fake flipper?
This is possible. The problem is it's not possible later on, so you can't do the whole dungeon. Except, yeah, that's right. You can't get out. I knew there was a reason this isn't. I know for a fact you can't get all the way through. I've never actually seen anyone try.
GG.
Yeah, it's like it's possible to get out on the stairs, but it's not actually possible to get out on the ladder, I think. Yeah, which he doesn't know about. Nope, it's not. I feel like he's going to be eating some ground here. Nope, there he goes. Okay. Yeah, there's the fake clippers thing, but that's requires major glitches to be able to get to that spot. It's weird. I just know, like, I've just been told that it's not actually possible. I've never actually sat down and tried it myself. So I don't know the details of why or exactly what is not possible there. Okay, so Ace is finally heading to Ice Palace. The Desert First play did make sense, though, so... But it was clear that he wanted to come here as soon as possible.
Ice Palace is a crystal, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
like kind of the logical reason why you need flippers too.
Yeah. The whole meta around Ice Palace and like whether or not you should do Ice Palace flippers definitely has changed with Icebreaker. Before it was like if you don't have flippers, do not fake flipper to Ice Palace because it's such a slow dungeon that you want to go mode anyways. But it's so easy with Icebreaker now that it actually makes a lot of sense to do it. Obviously, in AceT's position, they have the flippers, but yeah, Icebreaker changed the meta significantly over this. So even without flippers, I think this would have been a smart call. The only time it does, obviously, still doesn't make sense is the only thing you're looking for is flippers. So
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to go to
then
Ice
it's bad.
Palace.
Then it's. I mean, you can still make some arguments from co-op where it's like, well, let me see if I can find a sword or something, and like I'll just go mode it now, like you know, if my partner's ahead or whatever. But yeah, in general, if all you need is flippers, it's still a no-no. But yeah, I mean, Ice Palace used to be like oh, I want to save this dungeon for go mode, and you try to put it off, and you wouldn't really beeline it. Now it's like, oh, I have the key, and I'm doing it because it's. I mean, it's only 3 checks still, but it's pretty straightforward to do.
We saw our first example of X mode by Croak. Thank you very much.
I know like nothing of like the different modes or anything, so.
Basically, what he did is he just took a hit from the spikes, unmorphed, and then activated X-ray on the same frame, and that lets you charge a spark on spikes.
Ooh, Ace unfortunately took a death from Cold Stare. Definitely uncharacteristic of AceT. Like I said, really strong and Link to the Past player, but Cold gets Cold gets everyone every once in a while. So
very uncharacteristic, but very on brand for MGA. I have at least 2 Cold Stare deaths each seed.
You're gonna sue him for copyright infringement?
Yes. That's my
I speak for the Link to the Past community where you can take the Cold Stare deaths. You can have them. We don't want them.
I'll take one for the team.
Yeah, I wasn't... Again, we got four going out once here. I don't know how many items Ace got in Ice Palace. I think it makes sense for him just to bail at this point. Yeah, even if Cold Stare did have an item.
Yeah, because he's low on magic anyway, so it's like you have to farm all that back up, and yeah, it's just kind of a pain.
Well, I could have... Yeah, I was assuming it was at least 2. And AceT finally seeing that... Yeah, like I said, Tracy kind of banned this earlier because of ammo and beam considerations, so Ace is just coming to clean it up now, seeing that lamp. I doubt Ace is going to bother with this lamp. In fact, I'm actually surprised he's... Oh, he hasn't killed Ridley yet, so he's doing this on his way to Ridley. I was about to say, like, if he was just checking this, it would just make sense just to reset. But I highly doubt Ace is going to be going around for this. Like the hardest dark room is Mire, and even for very skilled players, it's co-op. They have low health. If he had to do Mire, I think he'd get it, but I don't think he's going to get it here. Just because you're forced to take damage for the Mire dark room.
And before Ice Ride at Mire, like I'm saying.
I mean, it's true. I mean, in that situation, it'd have to be specifically Ice Ride on Vidi, but yeah.
I'm excited. Let's go.
I did pop in your stream last night, and I saw you fighting Vidi, and I saw a hammer pop up. I'm like, oh no.
Oh yeah, that was
I'm like, oh, MJ's he's running a ladder. Let's see. I was like, oh, that's a hammer. That's...
Yeah, pretty bad.
Ooh, BF almost got the speedball out. So it's an incredibly tricky speedball. Because not only is it just a short charge, the fact that the ground's coming up at you, you have to mock ball super quickly to be able to get it. It's really awkward.
Which dark room is Tracy trying to do right now? I missed it.
This is Eastern.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I noticed.
I just give me a little hint and I can get it. But yeah, when you have
the anti-fairies.
Yeah. Did she? I assume she came here in Dark World and mirrored. That way she can grab her flippers that she knows about already. Because that would make sense. Like, it's actually weird that she. Like I think the most optimal thing is just. She could be like the only reason I think to save Pod here is, let me do Eastern. I know I have to go to Pod anyways. If I don't find Ice Rod in here, I might go kill Helma because Ace did not kill Helma.
That's a good idea. Yeah, actually,
depending.
I like that. Yeah.
Again, I have no idea if they found 5 or not in that. If there is an item on Helma, I wouldn't be, since Tracy has to come here anyways, and they need to clean up Eastern. Having her rush Helma, especially before the flippers are, isn't too bad. So it wouldn't be a terrible idea. Very nice fight from Ace there. Nice little jump into the claws to finish it off. Yeah, I think Ace gets kind of labeled a Link to the Past main a lot, but he's definitely a very strong SRM runner as well. Okay, so we'll see if... I didn't really see how Tracy approached this, so we'll see if she's got a Dark World portal or anything.
I assume she entered from the Dark World. It would be it's just bad routing. If
the fact that you know about the slippers, like...
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's... Yep, there's the portal. Okay. So she's gonna get the flip. We'll see if she goes... Because I feel like if you were just getting... If you had no intentions of killing Helma at all... wait, where's she going?
She had to go get the monkey.
Oh, the monkey.
Whatever her name is.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's probably maybe she got hit or something on the way in. I didn't see, so that would make sense. Where you just get hit, you just say, okay, whatever. I'm going to Eastern now. So that would also explain the Eastern first. But we'll see. We might see a Helma here. I don't think it's. I mean, they're running out of. I can't think of. I mean, we've seen the Meridian now. We've seen Dark Death Mountain. We've seen all the big stuff. So I think we're getting down to the bad stuff. So yeah. Because if you don't do Helma here, when you're gonna do it, right? Like,
no one's gone into Swamp, right? I mean,
no, Ace
tried, but
Ace did all Swamp.
Oh, I completely missed that.
Yeah, I don't remember if we saw a left side from him. Might be the only thing, but
yeah, in that case, it's really just Meyer or back of Pod.
Meyer, back of Pod, Turtle Rock. We saw Shaq.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing Plasma, but I gotta think at least someone did it.
Yeah, Beefy did. There was nothing there.
Yeah. Waterway. We have Waterway, and we did see a Criteria Scout from Ace, I believe. So just Waterway. All right, we'll see if BF is making the dip into Turtle Rock here. Again, I think dipping Turtle Rock, which is the Fire Rod, makes a ton of sense. Oh, Skull, obviously. Yeah, so basically all the pendant dungeons besides Pod.
Yeah, Skull.
And, Tracy did dip before doing the Helma, so... Yeah, I think... Like, because she knows nothing's behind flippers, right? Because Ace has already cleared out ice. And she could do ice without flippers too, but she can do the fake flipper. I think at that point you put off the flippers in the Eastern play until... Well, I don't know. If you haven't seen Eastern yet... Oh, but Ace did Eastern, so... Yeah, I think it would have made more sense for them to put that off until Tracy was ready... Until they were ready to commit to the Helma play. And of course, like you said before, we do have Ped and Logic.
Ped seed, Ped seed, Ped seed.
Yeah, I mean, Ice Rod is basically the one thing that can always be on Ped.
People arrive.
Yeah, like the classic Ped items are, you know, Ice Rod and Ice Rod, Medallion, Hookshot, Mirror. Really are the big ones because they really only lock one dungeon by themselves. Bow was another big one if you have both Pod and Eastern as crystals, which happens most of the time, honestly. So.
Oh yeah, I know what Croak is gonna do. Nice bowling skip, bro.
Yes. I saw this in a Shrooms match against me where he died in the Lord Norfair, so he just decided to screw around for the back half of the match.
You got a crystal flash first, bro. I'm not sure why you had morph turned off. What was in bowling? Like
nothing. I think, and I'm like this BF already did this, right? Like
yeah, you already did.
Yeah, so I'm not.
It's just for the swag, man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, knowing this team, I wouldn't be surprised if they just decided to like, let's just swag out as much as possible in this match, and whatever happens. That feels on brand for them.
Oh, they're gonna get Spazer. Oh, bad beam. No.
I mean, I feel like Spazer is unfairly maligned, but if you have Plasma, you really don't need it. That would have been very swaggy by Ace, but unfortunately.
What was he trying to do? I missed it.
He did a diagonal shine through Crumble Tower from the bottom up.
Oh, and, trying to get that
he
item.
Just caught one of the platforms.
That's an interesting strat. Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah, I never considered that, but yeah, it would make sense. Like, it also makes grabbing the item really easy, right? Because you just crash, shoot, get it, and then you just have to do a crumble jump to get to the top right. I guess they didn't check this early. It's just like when you first come to Croc, or not Croc, Kraid, you do these checks. Either, I mean, they had Varia, or if you just have like 3 E-tanks, you do these checks. Like, so it's pretty shocking to see these done so late. From both, I mean, even Shrooms did it really late, and that was a while ago. So how long have we been in? I mean, that Fire Rod was quite some time ago on Shroom's side, and then I guess at that point we didn't know Turtle Rock 100% Medallion yet, but it's been quite a while since we've seen an item.
Oh no, we knew Medallion when Beefy found the Fire Rod.
Oh, sure. So because I think poor Rare Bunny said in chat that she did actually check the first chest. I guess it was a key because BF is all the way back here already. So
no, first chest was a missile.
Oh, he's got Fire Rod now.
Yeah, he had Fire Rod. Yeah,
I'm very dumb. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if BF knows the save your portal shenanigans that you can do. Like I said, the only thing, there's certain ways to keep it in a Link to the Past, basically by dying instead of saving and quitting. Basically, the thing he can't do is if he goes all the way to Laser Bridge and wants to keep that portal, he's basically trapped in a Link to the Past, which really isn't that bad for them because there is not much left in SM.
What's Croak trying to do now?
Oh, Ace is doing the bottom of Hera. I guess there was only one item in here.
Oh, there was an item here. Oof. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this makes sense to abandon. I do not remember if we saw that. I want to say we did see this from Shroom's side, so I don't think this is anything. But yeah, this is about what time you clean this up. I think AceT did check Spike Cave, which we know is nothing. Oh, Ace. I salute the effort of doing the fire rod dashes properly. Yeah, just a heart. Meanwhile, BF is taking the scenic route. This actually might be Ace making the same play. Ace definitely knows all the mirror shenanigans, so if that's true, I think this is a pretty smart play by them. If there's any cleanup to be done in SM, that's just going to be Tracy's job then. I think he's also... Well, they're pretty... Actually, the AceT side is pretty close in dungeons. I think Ace has got a little bit higher value when in... Well, Swamp's pretty quick in go mode, and we know Tracy doesn't come back for anything. So Tracy's just going to be in charge of finishing up the few remaining SM items, probably. Oh, okay. Never mind. BF does have the door here.
I wonder what Beefy's trying to do here. He put that portal down and then...
Yeah, so what you can't save and quit with the portal or it'll go away. So the way to preserve it is you die. So he had to manually walk here to be able to check these Dark World locations. Generally, you check these before you go into Turtle Rock. You know, because Vice Rod's there, then you just... Okay, GG, you're done. Or just if anything's there, right? I'm just trying to think of other places it could be. Have we seen a... We must have seen Bombos, because I'm pretty sure everyone did Smith's Chain, which kind of just ends up at Bombos, because they had Book at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. They did Bombos. Someone did. I think it was Tracy.
Yeah, and I think... I mentioned this a while ago. Tracy's kind of just doing dungeons because there's really not that much left to check. So Ace is kind of taking off like the big things here. They might send Tracy into SM to check like Waterway. I think Waterway is the only thing they have left. Because Ace did scout Criteria Supers.
Yeah, they still have Meyer left. I bet it's gonna be a Meyer.
You are...
It's gonna be Meyer.
I can't say you're wrong either. And that, I mean, that is the green pendant. Like, that is... You know, especially co-op, sending one person Meyer, sending another person Skullwoods makes a lot of sense. I mean, like, Croak is just in his own little world at this point. I don't know what he's been doing.
Yeah. Probably just gonna be SM at this point.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna kill Mother Brain. Generally, from like a optimal standpoint, is you generally put this up. Like if you're doing SM checks, like it kind of saves like the back and forth a little bit if you're just here at the end. But generally, it is faster to do this first because you don't get the timer that gets rid of some lag, and you don't have to go all the way to the ship. So it is optimal to do Mother Brain first. But like, if there's anything you're looking for, which I guess is not true in their case, they have literally everything. It makes sense to put it off. It's also pretty rare to see when your team's not in go mode to do it because again, you're kind of leaving your partner just to progress by themselves. Yes, it is. It's true. It is also optimal to do turn with gravity on. Also, I guess the thing I forgot, they actually didn't have ice yet. BF just finding it for the first time on their team. So, yeah, there were reasons not to do this. I think the main reason to do this now is Krokmar just doesn't want to play Link to the Past, which I cannot blame him.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
Yeah, this is always the danger when you have such a rich early seed because they were 30 minutes in and it was like places to check everywhere. And then when one of those items is Ice Rod, it's literally everywhere.
Literally everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, like,
indeed.
I don't think besides literally on Trinex, there is not a single location in the world that is uncheckable. I believe is the case. Yeah, there's literally everything. So this may be the fullest of full clears. This is Meyer. So this is 3 items. Technically, Skull Woods you can also count as 3 items because you can get the ped check, and that would all. But by the time you do that, like, I guess you can just argue. By the time you do that, if you know it's ped, you're going to be doing everything anyways. So like, you might as well just do this, and then you can just blind pull ped right after doing Skull if you still don't have it, because that's pretty much going to be your last thing. Oh, and Pyramid Fairy. I don't know how I completely forgot about this. Yeah, so this is actually, yeah, I was kind of wondering, like, again, like, it felt a little weird timing for Tracy doing Swamp, but it actually makes a lot of sense because it couples in very nicely with this check. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Pyramid Fairy. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be surprised at anything because there's like 6 places left. So, how shocked can I be at 1 out of 6 for anything, really?
What was that? Ice
it is.
Rod at Pyramid Fairy. Okay, well, GG. Not at Meyer. I feel bad now.
Yeah, and yeah, Shrooms hasn't even been to pod yet, so yeah, and you can see there Ace. I wasn't sure if he had saved his portal. Definitely did. That is an intentional death to save that portal. Tracy, oh, she can actually squeeze by that dead rock. That's shocking. Yeah, Tracy does actually have Desert done. I'm pretty sure. Maybe she didn't. I could have sworn she did Desert. Which it'd be if she hadn't done Desert. It's weird that she's going up the mountain now because obviously you just want to go up and be done. Ace still has to finish off his Ice Palace. Ace definitely still needs to finish his Ice Palace because that's the other red crystal. I was wondering. I was like, man, I wonder why they put this off for so long. I'm like, oh yeah, that's why. Oh right, yeah. She definitely has Desert Power because that's the other red crystal. Like I said, it is hard to tell on the restream.
Nice. Some more X mode.
You don't see the behind the brain kill very often.
Very swag.
Sounds like a VH1 show for like Nobel Prize winners. VH1's behind the brain.
Sorry, I'm a zoomer, so I don't know.
Yeah,
what
do I have to
reference
explain what
we're
VH1 is to you,
Yes.
children?
Sorry, too young.
Yeah, so Tracy actually has a sizable lead on their team because Ace is going to have to do Ice Palace, get the Ice Rod, then come back up to Turtle Rock. Meanwhile, Tracy's just in Turtle Rock, so she's going to finish first by a good 5 to 6 minutes, if not a little more. Ace will probably make up a little bit of time. Like I said, he's very strong, owing to the past player, so... All right. Meanwhile, Shrooms finally making this pod play. They will get the flippers here. We'll see how much further they go after flippers. I think the smart thing is to bail as soon as you see the flippers because it does put Ice Palace in logic. It puts Pyramid Fairy logic, and it puts Swamp in logic. That's a lot of stuff, and there's not a lot left. So, especially because they know they're playing a strong team.
Yeah, so they had to get those flippers in order to get to Swamp and Ice Palace to get those red crystals, right?
Well, you can fake flipper dice. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
really, I mean, for players that as long as you can fake flipper, which is one of the first tricks you learn, you could have just fake flipper dice, especially with that Canis Mario. In fact, Ace did try to do that, right? Unfortunately, he did have the cold stare death, and having a little trouble here again. Should be able to clean it up. Oh my god.
oh, that's getting close.
Alright, I have faith. He's fine. There we go. Okay. Oof. Yeah, I mean, AceT is likely to win this, but Shrooms is going to be the first team to have a one of the games completed.
I mean, really, which game matters here, Mower? It's SM.
A Link to the Past does take up like 2/3 of the game time usually, so.
Right, but SM's the better game, so really I think Croak won here. He's the real winner.
Sure.
He's a winner in my heart.
I mean, on the flip side, Ace has got this swag shield carrying around. Look at that thing. It's gorgeous. It's magnificent.
Yo, Mirror Shield? Love that.
My favorite fact about Mirror Shield is it's actually in logic for Laser Bridge. All right, Ace onto that Ice Rod. Yeah, Ace knocked me out of the NMG tournament. Although, I will say, it was more Moldorm than Ace, but I did die twice to Moldorm.
Imagine having a tournament where 50% of the game is RNG.
You mean like Super Metroid any percent?
Not if you run old route.
Not if you run old route. That is technically correct. Yeah, I did actually forget. When I was saying Tracy's actually significantly ahead of Ace. She's not really, because he's just gonna be able to hop right up to Trinex here, because he saved his portal. So.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Saving the portal.
Yeah, that's what all this, walking around and dying was for. So, I mean, there is a point, if you do it too early, there is a point that you spend so much time trying to save it that it doesn't really pay off. But it's a good 3 minutes to walk through that dungeon, so he's going to just be able to hop down. Yeah, and in fact, like, by the time Tracy's going to get into GT, she's going to find the big key, he's going to be able to beeline to it. They're going to finish actually pretty close to each other. Depending on what this big key... I mean, if she just finds it, like, on Torch or something, that's not really going to be much of a gap, but... If this is a deep big key, especially if she goes, like, full left and then it has to come right, then, yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised if Ace ends up in front. BF trying to do this diver down setup. This is one of the reasons I've just decided I'm just using Link Sprite, because I have hat cues, so I have no idea if he's setting this up correctly. Like, if the top of Garfield's ear is the top of Link's hat, it looks like he's in the right spot, but sprites can vary by 1 or 2 pixels, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I've noticed that that's a bit annoying, because like I practice on the practice ROM, and then you have Link Sprite, and then you pick your random sprite, and it's like, oh, I don't actually know the cue. You can inject a sprite into the practice ROM if you always use one sprite, if you want to practice like that. Then I'll load Kenny.
There you go. I am team just vanilla. Like, I've played both of these games too much vanilla that, like, you know what? Nope, we're just using the normal sprites. I don't care.
Can I submit any percent runs on modified sprites?
No.
Cool. Looks like I'll do that then.
Excuse me, we have to keep up the sanctity of the leaderboards. Yeah, so yeah, if this key ends up being right side, Ace is going to slingshot Tracy here. So, because I expect Ace just, like, generally when you're co-oping, you kind of split up left-right. What was... Oh, silvers were in here, I'm pretty sure. I think that was the top chest. Yeah, alright. Getting the silvers. That makes sense.
Pretty quick grab. So yeah, makes sense. Yeah,
I mean, it's just, even, again, Ace is 100% capable of doing it serverless. Saves a good 40 seconds on Ganon, so definitely worth it. Saves in Ganon's tower a little bit too, and like 18 arrows, if he does have to kill Ice Armorist, then he's going to be in trouble. Would have to probably Mimic Clip or something, so ton of value there, just running and getting him. Even if they were on Floating Island, it would have been worth to get.
Hey, MM2, did you see? Tracy got Spring Ball. It's his favorite item, guys.
Oh, there we go. They had every single SM item, and Spring Ball was locked away in GT. What a sad fate for Spring Ball. Yeah, they are going to finish really close to each other, because it's either right side or it's on Ice Armorist, and...
What's the absolute worst place that the big key can be in?
It depends on your... Well, okay, never mind. Tile room. Just
tile room.
Full stop, tile room.
Yeah.
It's also the best place if you're behind and you want to take the Hail Mary, so,
Yeah, other than that. I guess like Armos maybe.
Yeah, like it depends on what your route is. There's a bunch of different routes. There it is on the right side. I kind of do the modified Dark Magician where you go left, right, left. It puts Ice Armos at the very end. So for me, it's always Ice Armos is the worst.
Gotcha.
Especially even from like a competitive standpoint, because like if people aren't doing my route, Ice Armos is what's going to give them the biggest time advantage on me. Because I have to do a lot of walking to get to Ice Armos, but the theory on that is it puts Ice Armors at the end, which takes a good chunk of time just for 3 items, and because like either left or right side, there's like those big like sets of 4, and then there's a lot of just walking to get the Ice Armors. So you put that at the dead last. Really, I feel bad for Crocomeyer, who has to play Link to the Past now.
Sad.
So valiantly tried to avoid playing any Link to the Past in this combo on Link to the Past SM seed.
What? Z3 in my SMZ3 seed?
Yeah, I know, right? I thought this was Randomizer Week.
Is this even randomized?
Yeah, they just got on the wrong bus. I mean, in all seriousness, no. Like for players, like you said, who just learned it. They've done really well in A Link to the Past. I'd have been guessed they've been playing for much longer than this. Meanwhile, you know, say what you will about Croak, but he's consistent across both games. Like he's off doing dumb shenanigans in SM, and here is some dumb shenanigans he's doing an Ancilla setup in. There are levels of Ancilla, like it's not like the SM stuff. You can break it too hard, and you start getting into things that are illegal to actually do. Where I'm pretty sure all the SM stuff they've done is legal if rare. But yeah, if you like hook push or something, like all the stuff he was setting up, that's whatever he did if that was probably going to be illegal.
Yeah, really the only thing that's illegal in SM is just credits warping or variations of it.
GT
or going
code,
out of bounds.
GT code, I'm pretty sure gets disabled in this ROM. Like you can't even do it if you tried.
Yeah, basically memory corruption or out of bounds is just the 2 main things, and then everything else is fair game.
Yeah, well, the out of bounds thing is the thing that some of the that gravity thing, people will argue whether that's actually out of bounds. I know even like the X-ray climb after Dragon, people argue about whether that should actually be out of bounds or not. So, like, even saying out of bounds, it's certainly fuzzier than A Link to the Past.
Right, depends on your definition. I don't know. Can you ever really go out of bounds and Link to the Past?
Sure, philosophically speaking. But yes, I'm going to go ahead and say Plaid World probably counts as some an out of bounds in pretty much every sense of the definition. Once you've just deleted the mere existence of walls being a thing, then yeah, that's probably not a good thing.
I don't know, maybe. It's an idea.
Alright, meanwhile, Ace getting that Molorm kill. Gonna be moving on to his Ed game shortly. Tracy just right behind him. So yeah, that saving that portal for Ace, saving him a ton of time. So nicely played by him.
This is so funny. Beefy doing escape now, 2 hours in the seed.
Yeah, I mean, definitely like especially if because I think there's only 2 up front here because there was the map. A lot of times, if you're not doing escape like right at the beginning, like with bombs, like Ace did it, and then you get gloves and you find 3 in the back, and there's 1 sank. Like, do you really want to do front of escape for 2 items? You can do it pretty late, and it makes sense, and it always feels bad. And it's like the worst thing down. It's like a cane or a medallion down here where it doesn't really lock anything. that's always something that feels like it could have been early, right? Like
Yeah.
it's probably not like if you're looking for myths, it's like it's not gonna be escape, right? Because like there's, and I mean sometimes it is, but like some of those small locking items definitely could be escape. Well, meanwhile, I believe this is the first anyone has set foot into Skullwoods.
Let's go. Skullwoods action.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised, like, you know, take those flippers and just beeline the Pyramid Fairy, right? I suppose the only counter argument is they found that flipper's late, they feel like they're behind, so they're doing, like, kind of the most bizarre stuff they can, which, this late in the seed, like, I mean, AceT pretty much did everything already, so you can only get so bizarre of choices, like Ped. Ped's, like, the thing you can do. Meyer. You know, this felt like a really slow seed. It's only 209. They're going to get like 220s here up as AceT falls over. Okay.
I was going to say that too, actually. This is a pretty quick seed, all things considered.
Yeah, it just dragged in the middle so long. Like, they full cleared this game pretty quickly when all was said and done. Like, they're probably not feeling great because, you know, Ace had that death, and like he was probably on the beeline path to get to this Pyramid Fair, and they ended up doing a lot of stuff. So like, yeah, this could have been a very fast seed, honestly. You can tell when someone's an NMG player because they will do the 1-in-1 Ganon normally with Gold Sword. Because literally the thought is like, well, I'm here, I might as well practice it, right? Like, and if you mess it up, it's basically, well, you only need the first 6 anyways. It's like literally like to a T. Every NMG player will just like, I'm just doing this. Alright, Ace very smartly waits for Ganon to come down, get this triple in. Oh, just barely missed it, but gets a good warp and finishes Ganon off. So yeah, he's got a basically 2-minute lead over Tracy here.
G?
It's actually like half of a G.
Okay, G.
You got to earn that full G.
Yeah, I wonder when their Shrooms are gonna check that Pyramid Fairy. Honestly, it's pretty easy to forget if you're not like paying attention to those red crystals, because I know I've missed that a few times.
Yeah, I mean, BF made a little side trek somewhere. I forget where he went, but he's clearly like on this swamp to ice play. Well, I guess you didn't need swamp, but yeah, desert and ice. He's already got desert done, so I suspect it right after this. You know, the Pyramid Fairy couples in nicely with swamp, so I think ice swamp Pyramid Fairy would have made the most sense, but you know, you're talking 10-20 seconds there in a 2-hour game. It's not the end of the world.
Beefy only has 1 red crystal, so
he's in the second one now. It's ice is the other one, red.
Okay. Yeah, Croak is the one that beat both of them already. All right, now AceT gets the full G.
Full singular G.
Cherish it.
I really need to learn how to do this Rinka boost.
It's slow though.
Yeah, I mean with 4 tanks, it doesn't really matter. I just deboost off the side hopper.
Yeah. Oh, with 4 tanks, yeah, there's really no need. I mean, if you are 3 taking, I mean, obviously the Rink is a little bit safer because you have more of leeway on the Zeb skip. But I mean, just don't take a hit.
Yeah, I mean it's easy when all you need to take is 20 shots.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Big talk from the big plasma man over here. Like. No baby skip for Ace today. But yeah, this is gonna be a nice, I'm gonna say boring Mother Brain fight. So boring, I never want to watch it in a run level of boring, you know? We'll see if Ace decides to go for the stand-up, especially when you're ahead of your partner and like you've been playing the game for over 2 hours. Like, I understand going like, I'm too tired to do stand-up. I'm not gonna bother. Especially on 7 E-tanks is one of the few times it's actually dangerous. Right, BF dropping to his cold stare fight. Yeah, even Fire Rod, if you can get the first like double spin off, it kind of like forces them off to a lump with like Fire Rod and half magic, and you can just kind of go to town on them in the corner there and do big damage because Fire Rod does gold sword damage.
Yeah, I really like that NMG strat. I tried learning it. I think what was it? It's like the strat I was trying to learn had boots in it, so you like use the boots thing to cancel your like sword getting.
Yeah,
deactivated.
there's 6 slash, which there's no, you just spin them and then slash them 6 times, which is kind of like the beginner strat. It's a little inconsistent overall, and then there's like single poke and double poke. Either you poke them once and then do a double spin, or you poke them twice and do a double spin. Double poke is definitely a lot harder than single. Single is, I think most people not named Fricker end up doing single spin. It's kind of the most popular strat. Named Fricker or Cutie. Let me amend that.
Yeah, if you don't really practice those setups a lot, I feel like Cold Stare gets out of hand really, really quickly.
Yeah, like 6 slash is definitely like, it's one of those times like 90% of the time it works every time, but like every once in a while, like one of the puffs kind of slips out, and it's just kind of like, it's kind of like like when the Metroids just, when you bomb the Metroids and they randomly go in a different direction. It's kind of like that. There's like a little like chaos theory in Cold Stare where just sometimes it doesn't work. Whereas single poke and double poke, if you do correctly, work 100% of the time. But they are definitely a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never messed up Metroid rooms ever.
It's not even messing up. Just sometimes like they're all together, you bomb them, and they should all be in the same spot, and for some reason one just like goes off the opposite direction for some reason, and they all won't get frozen. Especially if your beam doesn't pierce.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's why I've never had that problem.
Got simultaneous Mother Brain fights going on right now. I think Ace did go for the stand-up, which is more commitment to the frames than even I have. I'll have to admit. Once it doesn't matter, especially on 70 tanks, I'm like, I'm good. Thanks. We're just gonna sit here. we've got the inverted only arrow game going on in Krokomeyers. Let's see if he knows the strat. Does not know the strat. He's actually doing, for not having a strat. Actually, he's doing incredible. I want to let you know how impossible this game is. This game is like the two-round Doppler-Fantoon of A Link to the Past. I swear to God, this thing is impossible.
Yo, this has to be a meme category right now.
Oh, God, actually, you know, we don't quite have the breadth and depth of meme categories as SM does, but yeah, perfect arrow game would actually be a pretty good meme. I won't lie. But yeah, when Inverted came out, I mean, it's actually, if you're really short on money, it can actually be pretty useful. And there is actually, people actually came up with strats for it. Like, it was like right when Inverted came out, because it was really important in Inverted, because you needed money like as soon as possible. So yeah, every once in a while in a regular seed, I've needed it, but it's pretty rare. We do have the GG now from AceT side, real close to that full GG. Tracy just needs to get through this escape sequence, and they will finish it.
Whoa, I never knew that SMZ3 had different cutscene or credit sound music. I've never heard this before.
Yeah, it used to be Donkey Kong Country 2, I think. That was before my time. And yeah, Shrooms is going to get into go mode just before AceT finishes the game.
Nice ice rod. Nice ice.
So they are fully in go mode. You see BF just dipping out of pod there. Was going back to the helmet play. They really had nothing left. I think Meyer is the only thing we didn't see at all, so your dreams were horribly smashed.
Yeah, Stadge.
I don't. The door wasn't even opened. I'm pretty sure. Oh, Tracy going for the behemoth work. Not quite getting it. That thing's such a meme. Like, just run to the wall and shine up. Alright, and it looks like AceT is going to finish this match at 2:22:15. GG's to them. Really, really solid time. Anything under a 2:30 in these is pretty good.
GG.
So yeah, nice. Free seed until it was an ice rod hunt. Good old ice rod hunts. Everyone loves them.
Yeah, I love ice rod hunts.
So hopefully we'll be joined by AceT here shortly. All right, we are now joined by AceT. GG's to you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. GG.
GG.
So, good old ice rod hunts, huh?
Much better with 2 players.
Yeah, I mean, you had Meyer and you had Skull.
And we had also Shack Plasma.
Oh, you guys didn't do Shack Plasma?
We
Yeah.
didn't do Shack
Yeah,
Plasma.
we left that.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure you guys know it is hard to keep track of 4 people exactly who did what.
Yep.
So it's like I know I saw this at some point. I'm sure everyone's done it. Whatever.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
you're
I
trying to keep
assume
track
they
of
did
what
it.
the team knows, even if the player hasn't checked it. So it's like almost more than keeping track of 4 people.
Yeah, I guess my big question was like Ace, the pod call seemed just so early in the seed. Like you still had Meridia, you had Lower North Area, like you were barely in Dark World at that point, and like you were like, I'm going to pod. I'm like, this is crazy early. And of course, you prove whenever I say this is a bad idea, someone always finds something big there, so you find the flippers. So
Thank
yeah,
you
I
for
was
calling it a bad idea because we've seen that before.
just. No,
Oh,
if
yeah.
I say it's a bad idea on restream, 100% something hugely valuable is there. Like all
one
the
of the
time.
things about our team is we're pretty equal on the SM side. Like there are things that I do better and things that he does better. But on the Link to the Past side, he's such a better player than I am. That when it comes to doing some of those more out of the way and bad checks, I send him to do it. It was his decision to do it, but you know, it's more of a lot of times he'll be, should I do this? I'll say, it's up to you if you think we should do it.
Yeah, it just felt early.
And with no
so it was
lamp, nope. I totally understand. I think the decision to do that, like, well, we had so much open, like it was really like it was kind of
Oh my
overwhelming
god!
for
Yeah,
both
it was.
games. How much
It was
open?
even co-op. It was overwhelming. How much opened up all at once early on.
So like, I wanted to like make sure. So if we had all this Link to the Past stuff, just make like the biggest swoop possible. I almost went to pod earlier, but I was like, no, it's a pendant. That doesn't make any sense. I'll do Thieves Town, Village of Outcasts, just make a giant swoop all around the world, and like. I didn't want to just dead end to Eastern and leave pod right there. Like it was like I'm right here, just check everything until we hit something on this big swoop, you know.
yeah.
And of course I hit, and I thought about bailing immediately at the flippers, but it was like could be something else. Like most of the dungeons still pretty quick, but I ended up leaving one item because there was like two keys and a compass left. Yeah, it was 2 keys, a compass, and an item, and it was going to be a long time to get the item.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
pod dark room.
yeah, we were actually a little surprised when Tracy ended up going because it felt like you were getting so thin. It felt like that would be a time to finish because I thought I didn't see that you skipped that much. Like I said, 4 players, but I thought that would be a sensible time to clean up the helmet. But what I didn't realize was Pyramid Fairy was also in the chain of flippers and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I prioritize finishing Ice and Desert because of the death on Cold Stare that he took. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do Ice, I'm gonna do Desert, and then I can do Swamp Palace into the Pyramid Fairy. While he was doing other stuff, you know, he went all the way through Turtle Rock and stuff, and he started doing some of the other worse checks. I think you never got to Meyer or Skull Woods, but that was like next on our radar. Were those two locations?
I entered Meyer, but didn't get to the checks before you found the ice rod.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
In Meyer 2.
Oh yeah, and then we were discussing how he could save his mirror portal, which may or may not have saved time, but I personally think it's fun to save mirror portals when you can.
Yeah, in SMZ3 it ropes one player, it just ties one player to Link to the Past, and I think like I don't think you guys ever went back to like Waterway, like, and you said you had
I did Waterway.
You did
so
Waterway.
you would if there'd been something there, I could have just said, oh yeah, we just big brained it or something. But no, I forgot to get the tempered sword in beta missiles, and was like, okay, I can justify going back and getting it if I also check Waterway. And you haven't seen if you haven't those of you that I know, Polar Bear Bunny has seen me do a Master Sword Silverless, or I guess it would have been just Master Sword Silvers, but that phase 2 of Ganon on Master Sword for me is really ugly. And of course we didn't know that we get another sword in GT, so I just said I'm gonna go get it. We'll check Waterway, and we won't have to worry about it. And yeah, and it was either arrow or bomb capacity. I think I don't even remember, but. At least we didn't have to think about it, because when we got to the end, I think in the end it was better that I checked it, because I think we would have checked it. Potentially before some of the other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like 16 minutes was SM Go mode. Well, it was some time after that, because technically your SM Go mode was whatever third E-Tank you found. That was technically your Go mode.
Yeah, both suits were early. Charge Beam was really early. Morphball was really early, and I'm not gonna lie, especially against these guys. I mean, the thing that had me really worried was the Stutter 3, which I can't do. And I'm like, that's to me that was their win condition. If the Stutter 3 comes up, that's something these guys can do, and I just can't. So.
Well, we certainly saw.
I almost threw a controller through my CRT the other day trying to figure it out, and I finally said I got to stop, or else I'm going to do more damage.
We certainly saw some interesting short charges on their side. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
there were some rare tricks being done at some point.
Yeah, I know these guys like to show off. So.
Did they do Plasma Spark?
They did.
I wish.
MJ, do you want to explain some of the things we saw? I'll let you take care of it.
Oh yeah, no. To get the plasma, they went through Sandpit, but Croak did X mode.
Oh, down. Okay.
Yeah, down a sand pit and then up the toilet. But yeah, Croak did X mode for sure. I don't remember how many times. But he did it like leaving X-ray to do a spark. Oh yeah, and then he did bowling skip too for no reason because Beefy already
Hey,
did
he got
bowling and
Spazer.
Oh yeah, for Spazer.
When he already had plasma.
Exactly.
So, that's kind of not a reason, I guess.
Okay. I mean,
Um,
Spazer has its uses if Suitless Meridia becomes a thing, but that just wasn't a thing with Gravity Swoop. But in a way, one thing that, you know, we're one of the few teams that doesn't send someone down to Blue Burn Star early, so I kind of feel like we almost have to prioritize getting there during the early parts of the game, just in case there's something in those ceiling items. And there was a hammer. So,
Yeah,
among other
like-
things.
Just like the layout, they had a little bit cleaner opening because like you guys kind of had like keep looping back in on yourselves like in the
Yeah.
early Bryn, and like so they were ahead early, but like you guys are definitely the stronger Link to the Past team. So like there was just so much Link to the Past to be done at that point, and they really hard committed to SM. They pretty much full cleared all of SM by the time they even like really started coming out to Link to the Past stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
I
we
could see
between
that.
the two of us, we did most of SM, everything. I think we had everything with Shaq Plasma, but each one of us didn't come close to full clearing it. So
Yeah, it's just like SM's not that big that when you have like 2 SM mains, like it gets cleared so fast, and then it's like, oh, now you have to do all this. Like even with me and Cutie, like it's just like, oh, SM's done already. Like
yeah.
It's like,
Oh
oh.
yeah. Same with us. Not quite as fast as Cutie can do it, but you know.
So yeah, the only other like, you guys didn't have. No, you guys did have the ice beam. So like, I was actually thinking like it would have made sense.
Yeah,
to, like,
Ace got the ice
send
beam
Ace.
really early. I didn't get it till much later because like early on, ice beam just gets in the way, and then there was never a good time to go get it when it might have actually mattered. So I
Yeah, I
would
was
have loved
kinda-
to had it for Meridia in particular, but
Yeah, I was.
because I picked up the plasma, but I'm just like, no, it's too far out of the way to go get that first. I want that fire rod before I do Eastern. But I think by then we might. I don't remember when we found out compared to that when we weren't getting the lamp, but like I went down since Ace had the good beam combo. I was gonna make him do GT, and he goes in and sees GT is like, oh, there's the lamp. I'm like, oh, which item? Yes, the space jump locked item. I'm like, guess we're not getting a lamp. Sorry, bunny.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
with Meyer being the pendant. Yeah.
Like, there's no way we could justify. Like, the only time you can really justify getting that item when it's not hard required is if you're going to Lower Norfair from Upper. And, you know, if I have, you know, a good beam, or even just charge beam, I'll typically, in Spaceship, I'll typically do the GT fight first. And just so be it if it's nothing. And you know, potentially reset if it's nothing, and then do gate glitch. But I think I would have kept a lamp in that situation. But there's no way I'm going back to LN, going all the way around just to pick up that lamp. Even though it is possible to leave without fighting GT if you're careful, but even that's slow. So
Yeah. Well, I was because early on I was like with that ice beam. I was kind of expecting actually Ace to go Meridia just to Dark World pre-glove. But like you said, he's a strong Link to the Past player, and it seemed like at that point it made sense. Like, well, just get him there, and he can start doing some stuff. So that was the other thing I was sort of surprised at in the seed.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have like the fastest movement for Meridia, so like going to Meridia because that was like we could have done that before I had like space jump, before speed booster, before high jump, even like. And obviously, you don't really want to go to Meridia without all those things, especially when the other team, you know, is way better than you at SM. They're going to get through Meridia way faster.
Yeah.
If I could
Yeah,
at
that's
least
fair.
even it a little bit with some movement items, and we had so many other things too. It was kind of hard to like keep track of like where I needed to clean up. Like it was harder than a lot of seeds have been to not like step on each other's toes because like Tracy found all that stuff in like green and pink Bryn Star. And
Wow,
it's
this
like,
is
I
not-
need to go here
yeah.
and here and here. I need to go to Wave. I need
no
to go to
Bryn
Etacoons.
loops
I need to go to
today.
maybe early supers for the bottle. I don't know yet.
I just
like,
kept finding more stuff, you know. And then we needed the bottle
Yeah.
because that was myths, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and it's like, what do I do now? What do I do later? And then it was like,
And
I
then
don't-
Rex Ship ended up having Canis Samaria and the ether that we didn't know we needed at the time, but
yeah, Meridia just wasn't like on path. I guess was the biggest thing, especially for me. It was like I wasn't like nearby. I kept finding myself nearby other things that are either items I needed or new things to check.
And I was
Yeah.
really happy to find an E-tank in Meyer's shed to give me 3 for Lower Norfair, because 2 was a little less comfortable than I really wanted to be.
Yeah,
I would have
my
been fine
2
as it turns out, but with Screw Attack it would have been fine, but 3 was better. And then I think I got 1 more at like Mickey Mouse or something, and then got a whole bunch, like 2 in Wave Beam, on the way out. Suddenly I went from having 2 E-tanks to having like 7. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I had 2. I had to farm energy to do the Shine Spark at Main Street because I didn't have enough. So I only had
That's
2
right.
E-tanks, and I was like gradually running through it. And I was like, well, I guess I need to farm these crabs to get a fire rod.
Yeah, at a couple points I was like saying I wasn't like necessarily a fan of what either when you were doing at a certain point, and I was realizing like there's like so much that just opened at once. It was just like I even said it. I was like, you're trying to keep track of 2 people, and at some point someone just like like I'm going to wreck shape. And you're like, oh okay, sure. Like it's just
Sure.
like,
Yeah, there's some
like
of
of
that.
everything, like trying to like think of what
Everything's-
actually is optimal. It's just like
As long as you're checking a bunch of stuff.
yeah.
As long as you're doing something, and not just standing still. But yeah, it was definitely it was very difficult to route in that sense. I mean, I don't even as a solo seed, this just would have been awful.
Or
even as
yeah.
a co-op, just just everything opens up so quickly.
Yeah, I mean I really feel like I assume Ace was probably thinking that Pyramid Fairy right before that death, and
No, I think I
Oh,
was
really?
the one that
Really?
Yeah,
Like,
I meant. I kept forgetting which crystal, because he's the one that did all the map checks. So I kept forgetting what was the red crystals. And at some point, I'm like, I think it was when I was in Pod Easter, and I'm like, when do we have Pyramid Fairy yet? And he's like, no, we because I died to Cold Stare, and I'm like, okay, well then I'm gonna go prioritize ice and desert. I was gonna do ice next anyway, because we knew Cold Stare had an item. And then I'm like, yeah, I'll do desert before. I was gonna do swamp before desert, but then when I realized that desert was the other Pyramid Fairy crystal, I said, no, I'll do desert first. So after swamp, which was literally just go through and pick up nothing. And for some reason, sorry MST, I went and picked up that reserve tank at pure muscle memory. And I'm like, oh yeah, there was a reserve tank here that I don't need. I figured I could, because Go Mode Swamp is super quick, and then I could just do Pyramid Fairy afterwards.
Yeah, I hadn't exactly forgotten it. It wasn't really at the top.
I think it's
of my
more,
mind.
that's what I would say.
The way I'm thinking of it. I would have tracked it on my tracker and saw oh yeah, it's the other red crystal or whatever.
Mm-hmm. But I was trying to think of less bad things than Misery Mire or going back to Skullwoods. Because Skullwoods is always a little scary when you skip it, because so many people do it early.
yeah,
Even if it's a pendant, the old, it's just like Overworld, which I don't buy. I
it's
think
not.
that's a load of crap. Because you
definitely
can
not
go,
Overworld.
you can full clear the front of Skullwoods and get a bunch of small keys, a big key, a map, and a compass.
Yeah, each chest there is worth less than one other chest.
Yeah.
That being said, I realized the other day that I have the exact opposite opinion of the first 3 in Thieves Town, which is technically the same, right? But
yeah,
if
but you're almost certainly gonna get at least. I mean, the odds of it being a 0 item front at Thieves Town.
yeah, I think that's the bigger difference, and it's a lot. It's like 3 rooms and you're done. As
Yep.
opposed to Skullwoods, you're going to the back, you're checking that thing, you got to do Mummy Statue, you got to come back up to the front. It's just, yeah. If there's ever a fire rod in Skullwoods, it's just I'm done. I lost. That's fine.
Yeah, I've lost to that before, so.
Yeah.
I've won to that before. I've done it both ways, where I've gone there early and gotten the fire rod, or I've gone there late and whoops. Yeah.
The only time I ever do Skullwoods early is when it's a Meridia access, or even like an Aga access, and you just have to go all the way around the world to get there. And not have a hammer, where it's like
Yep.
at that point you have to clear.
So hard to get back there.
Yeah, because it's
even
just such a pain.
Even just bootless, fluteless Dark World is kind of obnoxious. So depending on what you got available, but is my kind of mentality. But that makes a lot of sense, and I kind of agree.
Anyways, with the win, you guys are moving on. You will be taking on Fail Guys. So if you guys have any thoughts about that matchup.
MST Leno and I have been talking about that matchup for weeks, literally. They're the ones that saw it initially. It kind of sucks because it makes me wish I had pushed a little bit more for some more qualifying time, because the reason those guys were seeded so low is because they couldn't make any qualifiers. So they're automatically seated at the bottom, which means we're going to face them next round, whereas we might have both had better matchups. had we had that not happened. So it's a little unfortunate, but I
Seems to
mean,
be a problem going around lately, huh?
But yeah, I think it's a very close matchup. Ace is by far the best of the Link to the Past players, but I think those two probably do a little better in SM. So, but I think it'll be a good close matchup, and at least if we're gonna lose to friends. So.
Yeah, I think that's the harder version of this matchup, I would say. It's very similar tone, but yeah, I think they're stronger in Link to the Past.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a fun matchup. I'm happy that my bracket's not entirely wrong. I predicted that matchup.
I also need to not screw up because I mean I didn't screw up in this seed other than the tempered sword that worked out anyway. But after what happened, I don't know if you saw our race against Maniacal and Hitaka, that maybe we might have been able to pull out if I just hadn't skipped for some ungodly reason the wrecked ship attic.
Oh, I didn't see that, but I did hear about that. Yeah,
it was very unfortunate. I don't know if we would have won, but it almost feels worse not knowing whether we would have won or not than it does than if I just knew we would have lost or we would have won or something. They're a really strong team, but apparently they put off the wreck ship so long that it might have been a huge advantage for us if we'd gotten both those gloves at that time. So we'll never know.
Yeah, it should be a good matchup. Looking forward to it. Hopefully, I don't take any bad deaths to Cold Stare and Blue Mail.
Yeah, we can afford that a little
Magic.
bit less. Although you ended up ahead of me anyway, which is, because of the stupid big key game. Stupid big key on the right side. Ugh.
Yeah, then after that, the winner of that is going to play some scrub team. That,
Yeah,
likes to
well,
mess up.
if we play you guys, I'll say the same thing I say about your team always. The less SM against you guys, the better your opponent is.
We just went 3 swords in GT and a cape and a cane of Burna in GT. And
no lamp.
Did you see the last match where Cutie had 10 SM boss or Link to the Past
Yeah, I
bosses
did.
skills
I
with fire
called that
sword?
game.
Oh, that's right. You were calling. That's right.
Oh, really?
Oh
Yeah,
no! Wait,
yeah.
no!
I know he's been getting a lot
Sorry, I
better
called
that
the
time.
one the next day. Maniacal had
Oh, yeah,
called
yeah,
that one.
yeah.
Sorry, I mixed that up. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
he,
just.
like,
Oh yeah, I went out of my way to watch that. Like normally I wouldn't watch a Monday race, but like I had to watch that one.
yeah, 10 bosses with
Nice.
with fire sword, and I had
I
tempered.
know he's getting way better.
That was
That's
pretty
for sure.
funny. Well, rumor has it he can hover, which is.
He is the
can't
best
do.
hoverer on the team. Like I have lost my hovering ability. So I did it when we were watching the Eddie and Stachio match, and that of course when we were watching that we tried hovering. So I did manage
So
to pull it
why
off first try there, but it
Nice.
comes and goes. Like he's actually if we have to go to Dark Death Mountain with boots, I'm like, you're going, bye. Like it's on you. Bud. It's like the one Link to the Past thing. It's like that is 100% you.
Nice.
Because he's a pretty. The story I always tell is one time we were doing co-op like a year ago, and he was like, "Hey Duck, how do you get through the back of Hookshot Cave?" I'm like, "Oh, it's like right into." Never mind, I hovered it. I'm like, "What?" Like where you just walk over the invisible part of the bridge. He couldn't remember how it went, so he just hovered it.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I didn't know how to go over that invisible part either, and I bomb jumped.
That's even more because you have to
Good
know
idea.
just enough to know like about where the edge is before you can.
That's okay. When I played this when it first came out, back in the day, my way of getting over invisible bridges was to push a Samaria block until it fell.
I'm not sure if that's better. I thought you were gonna say ether. I'm not sure if that's better or worse actually. So.
I mean, when you're not speedrunning and you're just playing for fun,
That's true,
'cause
yeah.
Speedrunning wasn't really even a thing back then because I played the original game when it came out. But yeah.
Oh,
If
you
you're-
mean I thought you meant when SMZ3 originally. You mean when
Oh
Only for the
God,
Past
no.
came
No,
out?
no,
Okay.
no. We're talking like
Like in the
1992
90s.
or whenever.
Well, okay, I can't. I used to think Red Boom was required because I thought that's how you had to hit the switch in pod to get to the right in the main hub. I thought you had to. I like looking back is like you just throw a bomb, idiot. But I'm like, I was as a 5-year-old kid, I would throw the boomerang and then like walk back. And I thought
Yeah,
that's
it took me a while to realize that all the items actually use those switches because it took me a while to figure out Ice Palace and that you could lay a bomb on the switch.
I remember when
to solve that puzzle.
people's first reaction, like the Link to the Past speedrun rando, is like, "Oh wow, look at all this cool strats." My first reaction was like, "You could skip the Red Boom." That was my first reaction.
You thought it was required?
Yeah,
so
for pod.
good.
Like, it's the dumb, and like it's actually like really hard to do. Like try to do it. Try to hit the red room and make
I've
it
never
between the
done it,
pegs. That's how that was my strat as a 5-year-old.
Well, I'm a little older than that, so I wasn't playing at age 5. But it's funny the things because back then it's not like you had the internet. I mean, the internet kind of existed. My brother used to do like some of the what do you call them? The groups things. I forget the name. But I never did that until I was in college. So there was really no access, and unless you got Nintendo Power, and I'm pretty certain by then we didn't get Nintendo Power. You were pretty much on your own. So yeah. To figure it all out myself.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, this is a fun match to watch. Just, yeah, those when it's so open early. Most people are like, "Oh, look, jet seed." I'm like, no, because now it's literally the entire world is open. I mean, it could be, but good luck. Like
jet seeds are when everything is just on path but you don't on path and easily figure out what in your dungeons like. Just go do your crystal dungeons and you find everything. You don't have to do a whole lot of overworld. And I feel like they're more common in Link to the Past by itself than in SMZ3.
Yeah, I mean,
it always feels like there's always something.
The problem is SM adds 100 locations, but it's less than 100 needed. Like you need like 5 items. Like we've talked about this before. You need Morph Ball and the rest is negotiable, right? Like,
yep, that's right. It's like Beef Robber finishing up Ganon as Croakmire goes into GT.
You got this, Tracy?
Yeah, nope. It's your job. I'm willing to stick around.
No, it's fine. Well, we're about to run a seed too, so.
But good on them for finishing this out. Like I don't know if they're even watching the race room, to be honest. Which is, in this situation, it's probably smart. Just play it and see what you get. Also, somebody needs to tell Beef Robber that you can just save and go ahead and reset.
Oh, did he
they've been doing that the whole seed, yeah. Croak did that to get back to SM, or the ship.
I mean, it's a rare see when you see me go into the, what do you call it? Into that shop.
Hey, I went in there to get my first sword.
Yeah, that actually made sense, but it's a rare seed when that actually becomes something you do, right?
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I actually did that. Like, actually, I'm even struggling to find a situation where it makes sense to do that.
I wanted the sword from 230 missiles before doing the old man rescue on Death Mountain. So like, just go in, you're right next to 230, and then you can come back out. Because the reset time's kind of slow. Like, it's obviously faster than.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you're doing in there. It matters like walking versus resetting. So you have to be closer than.
Yeah, but like even from Link's house though, like it saves the reset time to the ship. Like the saving is faster than that. You don't have to go to the door transition.
I think specifically for 230 missiles, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Not sure it makes sense.
Or maybe going down.
I never actually timed saving quitting to Link's house and then going in that port. That actually might be. It's actually pretty close now that I think about it, because it's not the saving quit's faster than the ship because you got to wait for Samus to do her little vamping on the ship.
And the reset has a little bit of extra time. Like I don't know if it's just emulator or if it's all of them, but it definitely takes longer to reset than it does to save and quit.
Yeah, wouldn't that be hilarious if that was actually faster and it's just like the world's worst groupthink that everyone's been resetting this entire time?
Yeah, I have a hard time thinking that in most situations it would be faster to go through that way.
Yeah, I mean, clearly if you're doing Gauntlet or something, you reset, but yeah, I guess if you're just doing 230 specifically, yeah, I guess that does make sense.
Not sure why Beef Robber's using power bombs. He has them and he's ahead, so.
Because
using that spring ball.
Yeah, well, that's right. Croak Croak was the first to kill Mother Brain. He did it
like 2 hours in. He's already beaten Mother Brain, yeah.
Oh.
Even though he knew where Ice Road was, he was just, or Ice Beam, he was like, I'm doing Mother Brain.
Wait, but his map doesn't show him having already been there, and he's doing it again.
No, Croak.
No, Croak.
Oh, Croak is already done Mother Brain. Oh, gosh, yeah, okay.
Oh, did I say Beefy?
No, you didn't. I just heard. You said Croak, and my mind said Beef Robber.
Yeah, so they're actually a lot closer than it seems.
Oh, yeah,
Croak's
a lot closer to each other.
go up and kill GT and Ganon.
Yeah, with 1 heart, this is not a good place to have 1 heart.
No, I'm a big proponent of the AD strat where it's heart neutral, but you take the damage before you pick up the heart, so this is definitely the situation would not work. That fairy's looking awfully tempting, and I wouldn't be surprised. He had a fairy at some other point, so he might have picked up another one I didn't notice.
Well, the bug net was available. I just said nope. Ace and I joke about that item a lot because it's like my least favorite item.
Bugnet's great.
Wow.
Bugnet, people always forget Bugnet is Spike Cave.
Yeah.
Because of the extended iframes. You can
Yeah,
do
and I
almost
suppose
5
if I'd had a fairy. Oh, okay. If I'd had a fairy in Spike Cave, I wouldn't have died when I first tried to go there. But that was more me just not being fast enough on the cape.
Yeah, I think that's our first baby skip of the match.
Yeah, you're not seeing me doing baby skip anytime soon.
Yeah, I saw Ace just
Ace
barely
tried
missed it. So yeah, that is our first baby skip today.
Being so generous by saying I just barely missed it. I failed it immediately.
It's just one of those strats that I know I should someday learn, but it's a because it's a time save, but it's also just a time save. Like it doesn't get me literally anything else, so it's just hard to prioritize it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I mean I put it off for a long. The thing is, like, it takes time to set. Like the worst thing is going for it and missing it. So
Yeah.
like once you start doing it, like you're so tied to it, and it kind of sucks. Especially at the end of every run, it's like, do I PB or not? Because it's just baby skip, and it's just like, so and like the fact that you're, especially early on, you're gonna miss it a lot. Like it makes sense to just not do it for the longest time, but and then randos when you just kind of go for it because whatever. Like
Yeah, I've never gotten it in a rando race or seed. I've gotten it in runs like once or maybe twice, and in practice before, of course. But I just want to go for it, assuming I'm gonna miss it every time.
I'll tell you my baby skip story. So back before I'd ever watched a speedrun, I'm playing Super Metroid on my 3DS for the first time in 10, 15 years, and I mean not necessarily the very first time, but I got the game and was playing it several times through on the 3DS, which is a terrible way to play Super Metroid, by the way. And I got to the baby and I just started space jumping around the baby, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder if this is a thing, but I didn't know what to do with it, so I ended up getting grabbed anyway. And then I watched my first speedrun not too long later. I'm like, oh, hey, that is a thing. I was pretty excited that, I mean, I can't say that I discovered it, but the fact that I found it independently of speedrunning, I thought was kind of cool.
are we gonna get to? Yeah, Krokomara also killed Mother Brain 1 from behind Mother Brain, so let's see if we're gonna see it again.
Yeah.
I wanna see this.
I've never seen that before.
What?
That's wrong.
Well, this is why he took a save. I was wondering why he took a save. This is why.
That is incorrect. I don't know a lot about Z mode or X mode, whatever that is, but that is not.
Yeah,
not correct.
those mode things. I remember in League a couple of years ago, I was asked whether we were going to allow like G mode, X mode, R mode, and I said sure. It's slow anyway. Like if you could, like I think it may have been Beef Robber one year did. Whichever one gets you to backdoor lower Norfair. Like, you didn't win the race, but it was cool to see it.
G mode, yeah.
So,
yeah,
but it's really, really slow to do it. So I'm like, yes, if you can do it, and win a race, more power to you. But it's so slow. It's hard to actually win doing it.
In a randomizer setting, yeah, because you don't know where the items are, so you can't like properly like manage your health and ammo, because it needs to be so specific to do things like that.
Yeah, I mean, even like a bingo setting, like I guess if you just specifically need it, like
in bingo, yeah,
the missiles or something.
There's so much like routing. Maybe? There's so much routing that goes into it. It's like you really need to put a lot of brain power to also include G mode, and it's just like not worth to waste your thinking on that, I guess. You know.
All right. Well, BF does get his way behind Mother Brain.
For the swag.
Yeah. If you're sitting there wondering, does this do anything? No, it does not.
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
You were wondering.
Does it protect you from the Rinkas? Or can they still hit you back there?
Actually, it does protect you from the Rinkas, yeah.
So does Ice Plasma.
That
was a bang-up job of protecting you from the Rinkas, honestly.
I can make that door. Nope. Okay, there we go. Yeah, in fact, we when we saw the lamp, we one of my comments was we have to skip it because those guys are gonna get it. We need that. I want that. You know, figure that time save would, or the time difference of not going and getting it would be pretty good.
Yeah, like if Meyer was a crystal, and Ace got it, like I feel like that's somewhat defensible because like 6 hearts, like Meyer basement is just can be mean, you know.
Meyer basement's terrible.
There's no way
It was the last dark room I learned.
Oh, Croak didn't have a key.
Mm.
Wait, but oh, I guess he
One
knows.
from the
there's-
helmet store that's alive in that room that he was in.
But he needed 2 keys because the key there and then a key get down. Was there a key upstairs?
Right. No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I
think
didn't
he's-
open it. I didn't open the
Piece
chest.
of mass
Ace did.
power bombs and $20.
There are 2 keys in stealthos room, I believe.
Because the heart piece gave me a refill, which was kind of handy. And then I forgot I powered the fairies, anti-fairies anyway, even though I already had full health. So I was already committed to it.
2 keys in here.
Yeah, so you'll have to make the climb again.
Yeah, that sucks. You know, it's funny when I call into the pass races and people start doing the old X number of Ganon falls, but the real equalizer is actually if you die on Agate 2. Yeah, I'm confused why he's continuing here.
And he only got one of the keys?
Yeah,
I
there,
don't
I
know.
swear there were 2 in stealthos.
You said there were 2. I remember hearing that.
Yeah, I remember saying it. Like two small keys, no big key.
You wanted to do it for the boomerang strat.
It's a good strat.
Yeah, another one of those strats that I've been too lazy to actually learn. I can do it slightly slower with Canis Mario. Although I would learn the blue broom with the hook
That's
shot.
why he wanted the spring ball,
Yeah.
even though
Oh, there
he's
you go.
got Mother Brain dead.
That's it. Yeah.
Or maybe
I
it was just it might have been just Father MM2 who's doing tracking, and yeah, shout outs to him for tracking this thing.
I don't care how much you like.
Tracking is hard.
I don't care how much you like spring ball. If you literally don't have to go back to SM, it's probably not worth it.
No, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care how much you like spring ball. If it's that far out of the way, unless you need it for movement, you don't get it.
Well, I was gonna say, especially if you have Mother Brain dead.
I
Like,
know, right?
that's definitely the line. Like,
There we go. It's for the spring ball tech.
yeah, for yeah, Croak is definitely into screwing around territory.
Too bad you don't get to keep your hyper beam, but that would actually be problematic.
You kinda
because
do.
Plasma pirates. Yeah, you get a free wave plasma, charge wave plasma out of it.
Which I've
Ace
used to
was-
check wave before.
But well, you had
Go to
that.
Croc. Go to
you had
Croc
that
from the
Croc
back,
play
use the
where-
wave
where-
gate, yeah.
It was one of the weeklies, and I was watching you play it, and I knew that you had, which I even double checked with Azure what beams you would get from that, and you were like, "Oh, I wish I had charged me out of this," and I'm like, "But you do," and you tried it, fortunately, before you actually went to Croc. I think that one had Croc as like your go mode too. It was something dumb in Croc that you had to get.
I used the wave beam that it gave me to open the gate to Croc, and I used the charge beam it gave me to kill Croc with the plasma.
Yep.
It's perfect.
It was something dumb like it was like Fire Rod or Cane or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, so it looks like BF's screwing around here. They're just having some fun with it. So probably about time to wrap this up then. So GG's to you again, winning this race.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was a good one. So fun to watch.
Yeah,
Good
and
luck on your next
I didn't
match.
screw up. Thanks, MJ.
Yeah, generally went really well for us. Thanks for the commentary and the tracking, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck to both of you guys in your next bingo matches coming up. I know MGA you're playing some matches tomorrow, and Duck you're playing on Tuesday.
Yeah, on Tuesday. I'm trying to make the valiant quest to cut Asder into 80% before that happens.
Just
See if it
get
happens.
one.
You're laughing a lot. I don't know why you're laughing so much.
Just that you wanted to go do it that soon.
Yeah, I mean, like, I haven't done it in a year, so I'm way better. But it's just, can I get the runs in?
Yeah. Oh no.
Probably
I mean,
there's an outside chance it could happen.
I still have a 113.23 on the boards because I haven't updated it since 2 years ago, and I really need to do that. Because it was like good for like the top 700s when I did it, and now it's the top 900s, and I really don't want to end up being out of the top 1,000 at the very least. You know, as more and more people do runs. So
The only reason I don't want to upload a time is I'm 69 right now, so you know. It's a prestigious spot to be in, you know.
Yeah. So just wait for someone else to cut in front of you, then you can move back into that spot. I think Beef Robber's trying to do the escape strats here.
Yeah, I think we're gonna sign off here because they're doing stuff. So.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Was really excited, especially when I saw you on the call, Duck. So hopefully we get to do some commentary together during this tournament too. So.
Yeah, take that, MGA.
Cool, that's cool. That's
MJ's,
fun.
Hey, I'll do commentary with you, MGA, so you don't feel left out.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I'd rather be with a good D3 player, anyways.
I was gonna say I'd rather be. Oh, thanks. I'd rather do SM with MGA.
I mean, you guys are definitely two I asked, and I was like, oh wait, but they're running, so I can't ask them. So. But
Yeah, I was the backup. I get it.
I didn't even know you were. I was like, oh, MGA. I was actually looking for. So I was like, oh, Slaughter's this turn. I wonder if he's gonna come. And it's like, oh wait, MGA's here. So yeah, sure. Anyways, that's gonna do it for us. Thanks for racing. Thanks MGA for coming this with me. It was a real fun one. And yeah, stick around for. There's gonna be a lot more action. The next round of AceT and Fail Guys is gonna be really good. So come check that out. And we will see everyone later. Have a good rest of your night.
Good night. It was a lot of fun. See ya.